Пошли. Все вместе. Какие ваши доказательства?
They want you to comply.
Cancel culture is about canceling.
Кокаином.
Up yours. Woke moralists. Up yours.
This is systematic bullying that's happening.
Woke moralists. Up yours.
And they believe that they can then
Woke
shut us
moralists.
up.
Up yours. Woke moralists.
They seem animalistic is what I mean.
No, they're worse than animals.
The woke mob, they ruin everything.
They stop Ben Shapiro from going to events and speaking. They stop Ann Coulter from doing it.
I will never surrender even a single inch of ground to a pitchfork mob.
You never cave to the mob.
We will never bow to the mob. Ever. No matter what.
Do you see the final expression of cancel culture in terrorist groups like
Up yours.
We'll see who cancels who.
What up? Leafs just scored. 4-1. Sorry. Let's get to politics.
Episode 20 on 420, folks.
Episode 20 on 420, baby.
We planned it this way, actually. We didn't start the show until it could align with this episode and the date.
Yes.
It is kind of weird how that aligned perfectly.
It's God's will. God works in mysterious ways. We just have to trust him.
I think God is real. I think that's what that means.
Yeah.
What if God was one of us?
As y'all know.
Olay, how are you doing?
As y'all know, this is a religious holiday in my home.
I think Olay's high enough for the rest of us, so we don't have to get high.
And honestly, I've been telling you, I'm so fried. I feel like, in Get Out when he sinks into the ground. That's how I've been feeling for the last 10 minutes. Like, I wish you can't show smoking apparatus on YouTube, right? I'd show y'all my holiday. I'd show y'all, but
you can on Twitch. I'll just say that.
You can.
I would show y'all.
Twitch.
What can you? What are we talking about? What can't we do? Who said I can't do what?
We're speaking in code like the cool kids. Okay, I am completely sober right now and have
drug
been all
paraphernalia.
Day for the stream.
Oh, are you really all not? Yeah, I forgot about. Honestly, this day means nothing.
Why do we keep hammering 420 home so much?
I've been literally. I did it because of Elon. Okay,
literally, no joke. I've been straight edge for, God, it's gonna be 20 years this year. Yeah,
but you're like
a not, life, or
really? You're the one who's into like punk and shit.
You were 21 years old.
Metal bands and stuff like that. Like that's
no. I was 16 when I decided to be straight edge.
16. That's a hell of an age.
I was straight edge before that, and then there was like 15. I was hanging out with some people, and they convinced me like I should at least try some beer to see if I like it, some alcohol to see if I like it. And there was a small amount of time where like I drank beer, had some like Smirnoff, whatever. I've actually never been drunk before.
Wow.
I've never been high.
You've never been drunk.
I've probably been high, but through secondhand smoke, I've probably been high that way. But I've never smoked. I've never smoked anything. Cigarette, weed, anything.
Matt, when we go on our Leftist Mafia World Tour coming soon, would you allow us to peer pressure you into getting drunk?
Listen, I came up in the New York punk scene. If they couldn't fucking do it, let me tell you.
Don't give in to peer pressure, anyone.
I don't know how you go through this life. Like, I give you a ton of credit for being able to go through this life completely sober, knowing how fucked everything is.
The last couple of years alone, oh my.
I don't know. I kind of like that I could... I like handling it that way. I wouldn't want to handle it, because then I feel like, tell me the truth. It's got to suck when, like, you come down from your high and then you got to deal with all of it just like, no, not at all.
What do you mean? What do you think?
Calm down.
Crackheads?
No.
What do you mean deal with all of it? What do you think we're doing?
I don't know.
What do you think we're doing when we get high?
What about when you get drunk and you wake up and you realize all the
Drinking,
can't remember?
yes.
Drink, yeah, that's what, I'm
Drinking-
talking about everything, not weed. I actually think weed's no problem. First of all,
Yeah, weed's fine.
I should say I don't have problem with people doing drugs. I'm not something. There's like a hardline straight edge person who like judges others. I'm not. I judge drugs should be legal. Smoke all the weed you want. But it's not for me. That's all.
I had a vision.
Drinking, though, you're right. Like when you drink and when you get drunk the next day, at least for me, it's
yeah, I feel like shit. The older I get, the
I
less
don't
I
like
feel.
drinking. I don't like drinking.
I don't bounce back anymore.
I've decided I hate drinking. I'm not here for it anymore. But also, like 10 minutes ago, I had a vision, like like in That's So Raven when she had it, and it finally hit me. I was like, "Oh, bitch, you're really you're addicted to weed. That's not good." Like literally, and I swear to you, I text my friends. I was like, hold on, I'll tell you what I text them. I was literally sitting here while y'all were talking before it started, and I was like, oh, actually, yeah, it just hit me. Like, oh, I gotta chill. That's not good. And my friend was like, you ... you just had this epiphany? I was like, yeah. And they said, oh, I said, I swear it just hit me. They said, we thought you always knew. I said, no, it only just occurred to me that it's bad. So I was like, I don't know why. It only just clicked like, oh no, bad. Like, so I'm a
Well, I mean, to be fair, I feel like with the horrible news that we all got today, you can't be sober to deal with this because all of us were de-verified. All of us de-verified on Twitter on 420.
All of us? Was I?
Twitter never respects me. Oh, was David not?
I never had a
you
check
were
mark.
throwing shade, but I realized this is self-defecating, or not defecating, self-defacing,
Self-defecating.
but self-defecating as well.
Yeah, it's absurd that David was never verified because David is literally like.
Neither was I.
Yeah.
Neither was I.
Oh, you weren't verified?
No.
Yeah, but whatever.
Oh wow.
I called Ole out a couple of weeks ago, and she got rid of her
on the
Twitter
show.
That's true. Just
on the show. It was all here. It was on this show.
I saved you from all the blocks today, though. People getting blocked. I saved you. I saved you.
I'm almost at my 8,000 limit, by the way. That's the most you can do in a single day, apparently.
Oh, really?
I've got the extension version in the background.
You had the time to block 8,000 people.
What the fuck?
The extension's doing it all. It's happening in the background right now. Yeah.
Oh, you're gonna have to show us how to do that, Lance, because
yeah, I'll give you a tutorial.
I'm using Matt Binder's article that he published today to bully celebrities like Taylor Swift and share this MF pays for Twitter memes underneath them. That's what I'm going to do.
It's very few. Less than 5% of the old legacy verified checkmark accounts signed up for Twitter Blue.
Oh, I was like, I can't wait to see the math on this when Matt comes out. I was like, Binder's going to have the numbers. No matter what happens, I know Binder's going to have the numbers, and he's going to get out there, and he's going to be like, it's embarrassing. It's so much worse than you thought. It's so much sadder.
I do want. I'll drop some numbers here so you guys could see how embarrassing this is. But I want to shout out Travis Brown, this independent researcher who's been since the beginning of this year every week pulling the new data from Twitter to compile these lists of who subscribed, who've unsubscribed. This guy's incredible. So shout out to Travis. So basically, less than 5%. I think as of today, it's like 4.7 something % of the old verified users have signed up for Twitter Blue. There was like 420,000 old verified people. So that's not that many. And you should also think about it. Like the 420,000, like it's not like these aren't like the customers you should be fighting for. Like these are the hardcore Twitter users. Like any other sort of metric, like if you were if you like had like a store and were selling, like these would be the people who you knew would buy. But instead, he was only able to convert less than 5% of them. On top of that, there's around 600,000, a little bit more Twitter Blue subscribers in total right now. There's like 250 million Twitter users. And of that 600,000, half of those people have less than 1,000 followers. Now, I'm not knocking people who have, small Twitter accounts, but if you are paying for Twitter Blue and you have just a couple hundred, something like 8,000 people who subscribe to Twitter Blue have less than 100 followers. So, if you have an account and you're just tweeting and that's what you got because you don't care, that's fine. But if you care about that sort of thing, you care about the clout, and you have that many followers, it shows that you're probably just a low quality account. That, you know, it's very easy to build followers on Twitter. It's probably the easiest platform there is, and I say that as someone who's on every platform. And I'm not saying I'm something special on Twitter. Twitter's the easiest. That's why I have more followers on Twitter than anywhere else in terms of building a following. So, like, you know, if you really care about that stuff, and you haven't been able to like get like just a couple hundred followers, then like your quality, you're just not good at it. You're not a good poster.
Get good.
Twitter is much harder to build a platform.
Oh my God, what are we gonna do? This is it's pretty clear. I gotta get into the, I guess we could call the designated driver seat and just steer this ship for the next 2 hours.
I'm not high at all. I'm just watching a hockey game, but no, I'm in this chat. Don't worry.
Yeah, I was gonna say I did not partake in the festivities today either. So
same.
I will be later, or actually probably after. And you know what? Here's a guarantee. I will once this game's over around like 10 o'clock. Then yes,
I guess it's just
I will. I was gonna say though, like there's no. How much longer is Twitter gonna last now? Like with yeah. Because it can't really be taken seriously. Right. Like at this point, you don't know who's actually who. I mean, you do, but you have to go through their accounts, see how many followers they have, see if they're a real person. Like it's just.
I was so confused today.
And are there going to be like new lawsuits now, like there was initially that created the reason for verification?
Did you see that? Did you see that some celebrities obviously paid? I wrote about it today. You know, Taylor Swift, Miley Cyrus, Rihanna, Cardi B. Like, I guess they think it's important to be verified.
Oh, Cardi's doing it.
No, their teams do. You gotta remember that they're gonna have handlers. I think
there's
people who are
maybe someone really maybe some of these people, but some of them use their Twitter account a lot. Like, okay, so the surprises today were LeBron James, William Shatner, and Stephen King were all Twitter Blue verified.
Oh yeah, but Stephen King
and those malice.
I'm gonna it as a weapon. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, I forgot to get into it.
Excited here, Matt.
So people were shocked because those three people all called Elon Musk out. First of all, Stephen King was adamant about not paying for it for the longest. Since November, he's been criticizing it. LeBron last month literally came out and said, I'm not paying for that shit. And then William Shatner was criticizing the idea of him having to pay for a check mark. Well, last night, William Shatner, out of the blue, not replying to any Elon Musk tweet whatsoever, just at Elon Musk's Twitter account, and says like, "Thank you, sir, I accept." And it turns out it looks like Elon Musk offered to pay for his Twitter Blue account. So fine, whatever. But then it turns out that
afford the money.
Well, I don't think. I think for some of these, especially these really big and older celebrities, it's like the respect of the matter. Like they would have to pay after all they've done. They'd have to pay. But LeBron apparently, and this was reported by The Verge. They reached out to LeBron or LeBron's team or whatever, and they said that Twitter reached out to LeBron to offer the checkmark for free. And LeBron turned it down, which respect, man, respect. But then Twitter affixed the Twitter Blue checkmark to him anyway. And then Stephen King, people noticed on his account, and so he had to come out and say, I didn't pay for Twitter Blue. I didn't give Twitter my phone number, because the new description of Twitter, the Twitter Blue checkmark says this user paid for Twitter Blue and verified their phone number. And so Elon Musk comes out and says, I paid for a few accounts. And then he replied to Stephen King, you're welcome, namaste, or something like that. I mean, listen, if you're going to troll someone with buying them something, like, you know, like people like buy like those like boxes that like look like, you know, that like Amazon boxes, and you ship it to someone and they open it up and it's like a glitter bomb or whatever, like to prank someone. You don't do that with a product that like you actually want people to want. Do you know what I mean? Like you wouldn't go like I'm gonna I'm gonna troll these people.
Matt, did you look at the replies to Stephen King's tweet? Like the replies are a whole bunch of blue check marks making fun of each other, being like, "Motherfucker, pay for Twitter." Blah blah blah. I get to drop the "motherfucker pay for Twitter" thing. Blah blah blah. And it's like, well, you all know then. You know how sad this all is, right? I assume. I mean,
right.
There's just no point for anyone who's a celebrity to pay for it, because it doesn't. Because anybody could buy the check mark and say that they're them. You know what I mean? Like there's no. like someone else. Like, there could be two Stephen Kings with both with check marks because one person's a fake one, one's a real one, and they both they're both being paid for. So there's no the fact that he removed all these verification badges completely removes the whole desire to have one. There's no reason for anyone to have it.
I want to point out too, like I want to make it clear, like I'm not even like personally salty. Like if he wanted to like change the parameters and he decided that I and people of my stature on the platform weren't worthy of the check mark, I mean, that's fine. I think the idea of making everyone pay for it is ridiculous though, because there are people on these platforms who need it. I mean, the fucking government emergency service accounts should without a doubt have these check marks to let people know this is the actual government account. I don't think I could do this show at you guys today.
Yeah, I'm trying to have a conversation here. Apparently, I live in a haunted house now or something. I don't know what's going on over there.
That's so fair. Honestly, so good.
Did your power go out? What's happening over there?
No, my light was just too bright.
Wait, you've got to walk it through in chronological order, okay?
Mike,
Lance said Stephen Queen.
That never happens. That never happens.
Lance said Stephen Queen, and then somebody noted that in the chat, and then Ole turned out the lights because the sun was too bright.
I did say Stephen Queen. That's so true. That's a fair call out. It's a fair call out. All right, we're
okay.
This is one of the reasons why I'm straight edge too. By the way, I was in a band with some people who'd get high all the time, and I fucking hated it.
Those like day high people where they're just like they wake up, they start getting high.
High 24/7. Yeah.
It works.
Why are you taking all these shots at me? Why? Hold on, wait. I was like, wait. It's every direction. Okay, I'm doing my best.
Because it was funny because you like slowly but surely, like the light from your computer screen became more blinding, and you were just like, it off.
This is so much. This is just so much better now. Oh my God. Yeah, I like it here. I'll be here. I like this lighting. This is working for me. Y'all can see me.
I'm completely sober, by the way, so I have no excuse to be like hysterical.
On
the vibes.
It's a contact high, right?
Yeah.
On the topic of Elon Musk, there was also a SpaceX launch today. It was very successful because it blew up.
The ship blew up in the sky.
Don't know how that works, but like this, the way they treated this. I don't know. It cracked me up. Actually, I got a video. I'll do some work. Here we go. Let me share my screen here.
I'm gonna have an odd pushback on this though, because an engineer dropped in my chat today apparently to tell me about how this is still a success even though it blew up.
No, they're wrong.
Look, even if this was, let's say this was even planned. Let's say this was, it had to blow up. It was going to happen, even though I heard it was supposed to land. But anyways, let's say it was meant to blow up. Isn't that like a big waste of money? Like, can't you do these models in like computers and see what's going to happen before they blow the fuck up? Like, I just that seems like a big waste of money that is coming from, by the way, these government contracts that they're taking.
Oh, absolutely. But it was never supposed to land apparently. That's the one thing that a lot of lefties are missing is what people were telling me.
Nothing's even loading for me. Like, Twitter is just trash. Look at this.
Yeah, it's garbage.
Let's try this again.
They are wrong. People like SpaceX are clown car pieces of
the
shit.
entire Starship stack continuing to rotate. We should have had separation by now. Obviously, this is does not appear to be a nominal situation.
Yeah.
Okay, this is the wrong. Wait, no, sorry.
It does appear to be spinning, but I do want to remind everyone that everything after clearing the tower was icing on the cake.
That is SpaceX employees clapping, because I'm pretty sure Elon Musk is like Kim Jong-il, and he told his employees you had to clap regardless of whatever happened. So here they are clapping for an exploding rocket that they all built.
Wait, hang on, David. Did you call it exploding rocket? Because they identify as a rapid unscheduled disassembly. That's what they said this was.
Actually, I have that. I have that.
Rapidly.
Here.
Say it again.
Here we go.
Yeah.
The flight test was not exciting enough. Starship experienced a rapid unscheduled disassembly before stage separation. Like
that's crazy.
What?
Very interesting.
Look at white people reinvent failure.
The rock blew up. Like that's
problem.
Like Elon Musk is somebody who says that a man can't identify as a woman, but at the same time, he's going to identify an explosion as rapid unscheduled disassembly. I mean, come on. Of all people, he should understand this, right? The precision is really necessary here, but no.
Congratulations.
Okay, so can you tell me why you would debate someone who came with the opinion that this was actually like a plan? Because like when I was reading the I would say like centrist to liberal articles on this, they were pointing this out that this was intentionally done, not because they were trying to save face, but because like when you do these kind of things, this is a non-traditional design. You want to see it and how it explodes and how it ends up like causing damage to itself. Was kind of like their take on this. So that's the only reason I guess the only one on the panel who's not.
But they also said beforehand that it's like separation is supposed to occur, and that at that point it's supposed to prepare for landing. It was supposed to land. It didn't. It blew up.
Okay.
So
like it sounds like coke to me from the engineers. If I'm being honest, not that I'm an expert. I'm not a rocket scientist, but it seems like cope.
It does, but I feel like they also kind of expected this to happen, which is why they were framing it even from the beginning. Like Elon Musk had said that as long as it launches off the launch pad, then it's a success. So I think he knew it was going to blow up, but he wanted to reframe the whole issue as, oh, if it blows up, it's actually a success because at least it got off the launch pad. Like it's just, so this is the amount of money these people have received in government contracts. SpaceX alone, 2.8 billion last year, a total of 15.3 billion from the government since 2003. Like, this is where your money's going, to exploding rockets. It just seems really weird to me. I don't know. Look, I love space. I think it's important to invest into science and all that, but can't you do it through NASA? Why does it have to be through these private partnerships with these companies that don't appear to know what the fuck they're doing? But I don't know. Maybe
Abu said that it was an inside job. I actually am on board with that conspiracy. It's possible.
What do you mean inside job?
Abu says this in the chat. You'll have to ask him. He says it's an inside job, and it just resonated with me. I feel like, I can't speak for what Abu is saying here. Abu, do you wanna help me out here? I agree with you, but I don't know.
What? It took me a while to get.
Are you high too? Am I?
David, you want to just play video games? They won't even notice.
That would be sweet. Actually, Advance Wars comes out tonight. Next week, the new Jedi game comes out. There's a lot coming out.
That's next week?
Yeah.
Oh, I got to finish Dead Space tonight then. Or this
Dead
week.
Space I finished that a couple months ago. Fantastic. Let me share I'm going to share the Q&A question form in my chat here.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I did not share that with my chat.
Well, we do have some questions from the chat
Great.
so far. Okay, so here's kind of a longer one. How would y'all like to discuss the situation with Sunny V2 making an awful transphobic video about Mr. Beast's friend Chris? I'm not a follower of Mr. Beast, but it was kind of cool seeing such a big internet celeb show support for his friend in the face of transphobia.
I don't know who any of those people are. I'm not qualified.
I think it's obviously I think it's good that Mr. Beast spoke out. I mean, for sure. I mean, he did it obviously because it's his friend. I mean, that's like the lowest bar imaginable. This is a guy he's been doing videos with for like years. Apparently, they're like really good. They're like from before doing videos, they've been friends. So I mean, it's an extremely low bar. But obviously, I will also recognize how important it is that this guy. Did that in public. He probably could have. He should. Not could have. He did it. He should probably continue. He shouldn't let that be the only time he stands up for the guy, because it's certainly not going to be the only time that this. Excuse me. I was like, what's Chris's? What's Chris go by now?
So
I want to make sure I get.
They use any pronouns.
I want to double check. Yeah, I think Chris is any all.
Any and all. Yeah. Yeah, they haven't come out and said that they are like they have a specific identity. They're just on HRT, and they're essentially gender non-conforming currently.
Okay, so I guess
you're not misgendering intentionally.
I'm trying because I was trying to think what, but I haven't heard anything.
Oh, and you know how if you do it one time, just one time, you will never recover. You know, like
no, I mean, listen, I've had this discussion actually on my show numerous times with my audience, and which consists of quite a few trans people. And you can tell when someone's doing it in good faith.
It's one of the most patient communities I've ever interacted with, and I've fucked up so bad so many times. And they have given me so much patience, all like over and over. It's like, Lance, you don't get it. Please, can you just? And it's like, oh, sorry, yeah, I didn't know. I just like that whole.
Because Mr. Beast did call Mr. Beast when defending his friend did say, he's my friend. I mean. You gotta give him a pass. He was literally, that's not transphobia to accidentally misgender someone who just came out and you're defending them from the transphobia. You know what I mean?
Well, and part of the issue with this too is that it's not just like that they're attacking Chris for being trans. They're now like digging into their life and their divorce, looking at like their child and whether or not they're a good parent. Like it's getting really creepy. Yeah. And actually what's really interesting to me is that as big as Mr. Beast's platform is, he actually hosted a live stream on his second channel, Mr. Beast 2. And it was about an hour long. They just like opened up fan mail and whatnot. And Chris was there along with the rest of the crew. And that video got massively disliked. There were more dislikes than likes. And the live chat, if you look at it, it's just constantly people attacking Chris. And so now the right has kind of like picked up on this. And they're basically calling on Mr. Beast to abandon his friend, which again, Chris has been in Mr. Beast's videos for years. They've been friends for a very long time. But because Mr. Beast simply did not denounce his friend and, commit to remove them from all of the videos going forward, then Mr. Beast is now the target of like right-wing cancel culture. And they want you to tell your kids to not let your kids watch it. And it just shows you like how feral these transphobes are. Like they're absolutely psychotic and obsessive to a very creepy degree.
Have you all been seeing what has been happening to fucking inanimate objects? I'm talking about Bud Light cans lately.
Mm-hmm.
Like I don't think anything is going to convert normies faster than seeing what the fuck is taking place right now. Because you see, like, not just the Mr. Beast thing. I don't know if you saw like the economy on YouTube and every other part of social media of content creators going nuts on Jimmy. And I'm the biggest I've been canceled for fucking going after Mr. Beast before. And you like different things can be different simultaneously. A lot of things can happen at once. And goddamn, it's wild. Like that did you see the Bush Light? Like a dude is fucking gonna have a criminal record maybe for fucking destroying all those cans of Bush Light. It's not even the right beer, but that's how angry he's getting. He was throwing like that's assault, right? I don't know, Olayemi. Help me out. You gotta tell me a little bit more about the criminal code. Like if he's throwing cans of beer at people, that's like that's you're probably in trouble, right, or something.
Brain is not even on. I have not. I haven't heard the last. There's like crickets in my brain right now. Like I don't know.
Well, I did a video on that, and the guy is a 44-year-old man. This happened in Topeka, Kansas, and he got charged with battery. And he also exposed himself to a minor. So these are the kinds of people who flip out over trans people. They destroy Bud Light, and then Bush Light is collateral damage in the process. And it's just they're genuinely unhinged. In fact, everyone go check out my video. I posted about the Bud Light incident, but then I went through the list of like 5 different recent viral videos about conservatives. You saw it?
I have a contribution.
Oh. I thought you were going to say, I watched it. It was great.
No, I'm proud. No. But my episode, my episode on my show that comes out tomorrow is on this. It's on the rights obsession with the trans community and coming after them with bullshit like this. And I touch on this. So hear from Sober Me in that episode tomorrow. It's gonna be great. I think y'all gonna love it. It's a banger.
On that note, your Clarence Thomas video, also a banger. Loved it.
Thank you, Mike.
Loved it. It was incredible.
Thank you. It's my favorite, actually. I really got my shit off. It was the game show for me. It really was the game.
That was my favorite part. It was so good.
That really had me hype. my editor, Aaron Sherlock, he is amazing. He really executes the fuck up my vision, but boy, is it my vision, it's my foolishness. Like I had sent him a very long, chaotic audio note on that game show idea on this. I was like, and make it like this, and City Boy this, and my whole my South Park who is the king? You have no idea. Listen, the level of got my jokes off in that episode is just, it really, I love it. It's pure foolishness, informative mess, and so
Informative mess.
yes. Some episode tomorrow. Yeah, I see somebody said Olay has a channel now. I do. Olurinaughtii on YouTube. It's great if I do say so myself. I think it gets better every episode personally. So yeah, y'all should someone do the link. Y'all know I'm not capable. I could barely read this right now. I'm like literally just looking for my name, like, oh, like, all right, who's talking to me? Okay, all right, thank you. Like, there's my contributions back out.
I gotta, here's a question coming in from, I guess, the questions, but I also kind of have this question because I also have no idea what's going on. The question is, what's going on with Matt Walsh? Can someone like give me the TLDR as well, or like the dumb people version?
Lance is excited. He's bouncing.
I'm a little bit excited. I don't know. Okay, so here's a very, I'll try to be as quick as possible about this one.
I love Lance.
I forgot what I was talking about. Oh, Matt Walsh. Matt Walsh, thank you. Matt Walsh is he was hacked. He was hacked, and he was hacked for a very long time. And people started adding all of this stuff. There was the N-word in there. There was like calling Joe Rogan a pedophile, calling Ben Shapiro a pedophile or something. I don't know. I can't remember.
Sassy shooter. He called himself a sassy.
That song is a banger.
I learned what these terms mean. I was like, I don't know what's going on right now. And then apparently, according to an article in Wired, the person who hacked him was not like some LGBTQ plus hero or anything like that. It actually was like, and that was like that day. I can't stress this enough. That was like queer Christmas. It was so beautiful. Like it was just like win after win after win, and all these assholes. Like it just happened. Like that's the day that started out where I was published in Newsweek for saying the Great Awakening has begun, and then Matt Walsh's account gets hacked, and then right after that, like Alejandra just fucking bodies Ben Shapiro. It's just like that's one of the fucking most savage ratios ever. It was just like thing after thing. And then it stayed up for a long time. We still don't know the full story. Maybe Matt can tell more, but apparently the hacker who did it because they were just bored and they were like, they want to sow chaos. That's it. That's what they were trying to do.
Yes, that's all. That's all it was. The guy apparently doesn't have anything all that great from Matt Walsh in terms of like what you'd be interested in. Del Cameron, the Wired reporter who broke the story, he's been apparently permanently banned from Twitter over it. Twitter claims it's not because of the publishing of the article, but it's because he solicited the material directly in his own tweets. Like when the Matt Walsh hacker was tweeting from Matt Walsh's account, Del Cameron replied to the hacked tweet, one of the hacked tweets, and was like, if you have anything you'd want to send me, here's my email. So that's why they claim they suspended him.
Such a bitch ass thing. That's why he changed the policy.
It's bullshit. It's bullshit.
I don't even know why he changed. He also updated the terms and services to say it could ban and suspend people for anything at any time. So I don't even know why he's still perpetrating. Just admit you're a fucking whiny bitch dictator. That's it. That's it. You bought Twitter to flex. Twitter is your own personal to do nonsense as you see fit. And just say it. Stop bullshitting everybody. We know what's up. Anybody speak out against you, how dare they question your rule? That's all it is. Fucking
what is this song, Lance, that you sent me?
Oh, so this is the song that was changed to Matt Walsh's profile song. So it said that he was both located in Sassy Shooters, and then it says this is the song that it was directly linking to. This remained up for almost 24 hours, I believe. I'm not.
Is this a copyright claimed song though?
Yeah, I'm afraid of playing this.
I don't know. I've played it so many times on my Twitch streams with 0 DMCA strikes, so I can't say.
YouTube's a little more weird.
Yeah, YouTube might take down the whole stream if it is copyright.
Yeah, fair enough. All right.
Well,
you could look it up at home.
Look it up.
You all can find it.
And then it came out that Matt Walsh came out and said that he has been demonetized on YouTube.
Yes.
Because they are anti-free speech, or because he broke their terms of service very clearly and does not want to stop doing anti-trans garbage. So
Yeah, it was literally for targeted harassment of Dylan Mulvaney over the course of like months. And on top of that, he's lucky that he got away with what he's been doing for so long. Because need I remind everyone, this man is a stochastic terrorist who, along with Chaya Raichik, incited a bomb threat against the Boston Children's Hospital after he spread lies and said, I'm going to target them. Like days later, there was a bomb threat. So like he, unlike other conservatives like Ben Shapiro, for example, they don't know how to not cross the line. Like Ben Shapiro, like goes right up to the border but never crosses. But people like Matt Walsh and recently Michael Knowles, like they've been crossing the line and they know what they're doing. One revelation, though, that really struck me was that Matt Walsh said that he is making $100,000 a month. And Lance, you've got to tell everyone about your response to YouTube over this, because you basically trick them into responding, because like
David, you can do that.
Because that's so
that's going to be TOS. Okay. So first, shout out to Sean. If anyone doesn't know, Sean has a wonderful channel. He's that delightful British skull on the YouTubes, and he's the first one to ever do this. And the first time he ever did this, I was like, oh my God, I can't believe this works. So he basically added Team YouTube back in the day to try and get them to be on the record about like what is actually going down. Because like it is really fucked up. It, like, jokes aside, it's super. It's going to be hard for me to show this because I've blocked so many people. It's super fucked up that Matt Walsh was making $100,000 a year to make trans kids' lives scarier.
A month.
That's
a month.
A month. Sorry. Yeah. Thank you. $100,000 a month. And so I was like, I want YouTube on the record, or at least, at the very least, I want them on the record to have seen it, to know. Like you can't keep saying that you're like LGBTQ plus ally and do this shit. You can't do that. You know, you can't put on the pride flag once a month every year and not realize this like he had serious real world consequences. This piece of shit, Matt Walsh, like hospitals were getting bomb threats, school teachers were getting death threats, like nurses and doctors were getting death threats. People were shooting up power grids because of the hysteria that he would push. And he's making $100,000 a year to do it. That's so fucked up. You know,
and he's still allowed on the platform. Like, it's not even like he's being silenced. His free speech is being taken away. No, he can still upload to the platform. He just can't make money. Like, so this, which is again very obvious as to why they don't want to lose advertisers, because their ads are showing up on this asshole's videos. So that's why he's demonetized. Like, it's very, very straightforward.
Yeah, and YouTube is very, very lenient, okay? They allow bigotry on the platform. Trust me, they allow a lot of bigotry.
Yes,
but there's a difference between regular bigotry and genocidal rhetoric, targeted harassment, stochastic terrorism. And we all are subject to these same rules. We all know what will happen. We know where the line is and that we can't cross that. So the fact that he got away with it for so long is really... It says a lot about YouTube, because they allowed this to go on because he was making them a lot of money, apparently $100,000 per month, which is a metric fuck ton of money that none of us, I would imagine, have ever made on the platform. So yeah, and he's trying to basically do this whole righteous indignation bullshit thing where he's like, well, I'm rejecting the $100,000 and I'm going to continue to misgender Dylan Mulvaney, and I'm going to go to Rumble and go here and post videos on Twitter. So he's trying to make it seem as if like he's some hero because he's not taking the $100,000 from YouTube, as if there's a choice where they're just like, no,
we know what kind of money the Daily Wire has too, right? Like we saw from Steven Crowder, the offer that he got, nearly like what, $50 million over 4 years because of that. Like Matt Walsh is
which, by the way, is also tied to being able to be on YouTube, which also explains why he's not going to even bother uploading to YouTube. Because if he can't make money there, they're not going to use the extra manpower to upload videos to YouTube if he can't make money, if he can't make the Daily Wire money. So there's no point for him to do it. He'll focus on the other platforms. And so this is all just business. This is not him standing up for his standing up against YouTube and their restrictions on free speech, whatever garbage. It's just a business. That's all it is.
Yeah, and one thing that I have to emphasize here is that a lot of these conservatives, they know what they're doing, and if they purposefully get demonetized or banned, like that's very lucrative for them, because then they can parade around as if they've been censored, and then they rally the troops to support their Patreon or Rumble or whatever. So it's just like a different phase of their grift, but it is still a grift. And like Matt Walsh is going to be fine. He's part of the Daily Wire, as you were saying, and he's making a fuck ton of money. So he'll be perfectly fine. But it's sad that being that hateful is that lucrative.
Part of it, I think, is because they put so much money into advertising, and because they have billionaire backers.
Did someone just slide off a cliff? What just happened there?
Olay may have fell. I don't know. She got so high she fell off the chair.
All right. Well, okay. Let's. If we
let me just say too. I want to add that, like, he like YouTube didn't like tell him he can't. Like David explained it perfectly about it's a business thing for YouTube. But I also want to make the point that, like, it's not even like they're suspending him specifically because he said something about trans people. It just so happens that hate speech, which covers trans people, is part of YouTube's policies. YouTube is saying you have to follow our policies. So it's not like they're even like doing like a woke thing, like, oh, we got to stand up for trans people. No, it's just that they realize that trans people are on their platform and the LGBTQ community is on their platform, and they want to make it an enjoyable place for them so they can continue to monetize it get monetized from them. And so they've put those rules in their set of policies, which is a broad swath of different rules that are basically business decisions.
Yeah.
And like Mike said, there's a lot of transphobic garbage on the platform, but I think I guess Matt Walsh crossed the line, and it was a little too much maybe for YouTube to even stomach. So
which
that's
honestly,
why
like,
he's
the fact if
impacted.
he's actually doing this thing where he's doing a protest and he's now like, I'm walking away, that's such a middle finger to YouTube, and honestly disgraceful. Like seriously, YouTube should have taken action on Matt Walsh and the kind of danger that he was actually enacting in the real world. Like, he would put up the addresses, he would put up of the schools, like the districts, the emails, that kind of stuff. He was one of the, like, the biggest names taking libs of TikTok's like lies and slander and calling people pedophiles and putting that on like blast on Maine, and then all of a sudden it's like, well, what a surprise. All this real world violence is being enacted upon all these things. Like, why are people doing Naruto run into beer cans right now? Why are grown men like fucking smashing into them with their cars and stuff? Like, something is fundamentally wrong.
And it's a win-win for them, because even if YouTube demonetizes them, they're fine. And this is what happens every time. YouTube gets scared. They up their restrictions on all politics, all political videos, and then guess who gets hurt the most? The left does, because we don't have billionaire backers that are here to save us in case we're demonetized. So we're impacted regardless. Meanwhile, they win regardless because of the unlimited money they have coming in.
Yeah.
Next question.
Yes. Next question's kind of geared towards Matt. Asking about your blue verification tiff today.
Oh, the tiff or the tick? The tiff, right?
The disagreement. Yeah.
Oh yes. Let me pull it up so I get it right, because I don't want to.
Yeah.
I don't want to get any.
Does Matt want to talk about the blue check kerfuffle with Brianna Joy Gray?
Of course, I want to talk about that. Why wouldn't I not want to talk about that?
This is your battle, buddy. I don't want to get involved.
So I have not. I have
nothing to say. I like Brianna. Right, so, I take no part in this.
I've had a problem. I've had a problem with Brianna for a little bit, but nothing in terms of like direct. She had that debate with Sam Cedar years ago about force the vote, and decided to use one of my deceased best friends as a shield in that debate, and claiming she knew him better than his own, team at the Majority Report, and tried to use him against Sam, which was honestly one of the grossest things I've ever heard. But time goes on. I'm a kind, forgiving individual, so I just let it over the years slide. And I recently noticed that she was liking or retweeting, I don't remember, but she was interacting with some of my Twitter reporting. So I thought, oh, maybe we'll let bygones be bygones and interact over what's been going on at Twitter, because clearly she's been enjoying my work. And she was getting attacked today for being a Twitter Blue subscriber. And we all know my feelings on that. But I just simply pointed out, because she said that she signed up for Twitter Blue because as a content creator, she likes the ability to post long videos. So I just basically pointed out that, like, why are you paying to post long videos? Because it makes no sense. Twitter is like the one platform that doesn't pay you for the content, and you're giving away all your content, the long videos on Twitter. Shouldn't you just use Twitter for its short form content, which is free to post, to direct people elsewhere? Completely was not an attack. I was interested in having a discussion with her about it. And so she chimes in, why do you care? And why would I take advice from someone who's been less successful in growing their Patreon than I have? I mean, I thought that was very telling. I mean, I don't know why anyone would think that's a diss to me. I mean, I'm not like delusional. It's quite clear Brianna Joy Gray makes way more money than me on Patreon. That's indisputable. So I don't know why that's such an issue. But I thought it was interesting that instead of interacting with what my actual point was, she just wanted to diss me, which is fine. So I pointed out that, personally, I don't care how big my audience is. I'm talking about something that my audience is interested in, and that and it's important to me to choose who and what I support. And based on her focusing on the Patreon number, I just said, I guess for you, it's about the hustle and clout. Message received loud and clear. And so she did not take lightly to that. And she goes, oh, now you call me a grifter? And then she goes, if you hadn't spent the last 2 years sniping at me, I'd be happy to help boost you in whatever way I can, because I agree with 95% of what you fight for. So I replied, I was bringing up how this platform, and especially its current owner, views creators. You viewed my point as an attack. I don't care if you choose to boost me or not. I don't do quid pro quo. I had you on my podcast long before you had your platform, and I expected nothing in return. And then so she then decided to focus on the fact that she thinks I'm just in her mentions because I'll get something out of it. I want to make it loud and clear. I have no interest in Brianna Joy Gray's audience, because her audience, quite frankly, is shit. I've seen her audience in her Twitter mentions. They're not an audience I want, quite frankly. If she wanted to have any sort of discussion with me and wanted to have me on her podcast, I'd be happy to do that in the same way I went on fucking Tim Pool's show, or went on, what's her face? That a conservative, I went on her show, the election night things, because I'm willing to talk to anybody, quite frankly, because that's just how I am. I had no interest in, getting right-wing viewers from those shows. It wasn't about that. So, I don't really care about that sort of thing. I just thought it was an interesting discussion to have, but she apparently didn't. So, I mean, she's very defensive about paying for Twitter Blue. Personally, this is my feelings on it. If you want to pay for it, that's fine. But the thing to me, my opinion, is that this is different than any other shitty corporation or product you have to pay for. Because quite frankly, for the most part, the shitty companies you have to pay for I would say about 90% of those shitty companies provide a service that you're kind of forced into buying. I saw one guy who I respect, who's a Twitter Blue subscriber, compare him paying for the edit function on Twitter via Twitter Blue as the same as like how we pay for fossil fuels for our heating at home. I mean, there's a huge fucking difference. The vast majority of people cannot actually choose the type of heating their home gets. The vast majority of people in this country rent, or if they do buy a home, unfortunately, it's set up for gas, and you probably can't pay to gut that out and change your whole entire system. That is much more of a hardship to deal with than the fact of, oh no, what will I do if I don't pay for a fucking edit button on a social media platform? I mean, listen, just pay for it if you want to. Don't give me these shitty excuses. You don't care about the issues that come with paying for that platform, which is fine. We all make these decisions all the time. Just that's what it is for you. Personally, Twitter is different than any other platform to me because, yeah, Mark Zuckerberg sucks. Yeah, Jeff Bezos sucks. They suck in the same way every other, billionaire corporate CEO sucks. The difference between them and Elon Musk is that Elon Musk is directly using his product to himself use it to promote and push far-right wingers. He's advocated openly on his platform to vote for the Republicans. He's out there being as transphobic as possible, telling people to misgender, and he just removed.
Didn't they just change that? They changed.
Yes,
the policy,
they just
right?
changed the policy. It's not against specifically the transgender policy. It's no longer against Twitter's policies, just to attack transgender people. You can misgender them, harass them in that way, all you want, just for trans people. That rule has been changed. Personally, that's a line crossed to me that no other platform has crossed. And so for me personally, I view Twitter now as something different. You might say, Matt, why don't you stop using Twitter altogether? Aren't you providing Elon Musk money by using the platform? To that, I would say that's just not how the internet works and internet advertising works. Listen, if you watch Fox News, do you aid in their TV advertising? Actually, you probably don't, unless you have a Nielsen box and count it for their ratings, or however Nielsen is dealing with how they work out the ratings nowadays. But even in that sense, let's take TV advertising versus internet advertising. In TV advertising, advertisers cannot directly put their sales, what they sell, to the ads. There's no way to judge that action. They have to just basically estimate by audience that the station they're advertising or the show they're advertising on tells them they have. They have to estimate, this has given us maybe this amount of sales. Some of them do it for just simply brand building. Our ad is during this show. It'll help, it's a popular show. It's worth the money to get that our brand in front of this many people. But internet advertising is different. Advertisers can directly tell what ads are bringing them money. So if you use a platform nonstop and you don't pay any money for it, you don't buy anything from the advertisers, if you click the ads but don't buy anything from those advertisers, you actually are not a boon to the platform. You are actually costing that advertiser money with no action that brings them revenue that they can see. So they will then decide, hey, you know what? These ads, it's got all these impressions, all these clicks, no sales. This is just not worth our time. We're not advertising here anymore. So just using that platform, unless you're paying for it or buying things from their advertisers, you are actually, in fact, not providing revenue for an internet platform like that.
I don't know. I have a different perspective on this. I mean, as somebody who doesn't monetize any of their endeavors, so let's all keep that in mind. I don't monetize shit that I do. Everything I do is for free. My Substack, all my things. Twitter is a vehicle by which, as an advocate, you get your message out, right? And no matter what I do on anything I've ever been on, the most views, anything I get is on Twitter. My most successful, even on being as someone who was on Rising and hosted Rising, if I do a radar that I could go viral on Twitter, it ain't getting no views like those kinds of views on YouTube or something like that or whatever. I could reach a lot more people. There's a lot more I've been able to do as far as Rikers and Eric Adams and things like that. And I was somebody who was subscribed to Twitter Boo because factually, before Elon Musk came into the picture, it made it much simpler for me to do that. And I remember feeling very much so like when Elon Musk took over, like, okay, I'm going to get rid of this function that literally makes it exponentially easier for me to do the advocacy that I seriously do, because I've gotten locked into this internet perspective on this Elon Musk shit. Like, at the end of the day, the kind of work that I do, I'm like, there are far more like the structures inherently that I'm up against that I must always contend in as a defense attorney, as a public defender. There's always a bad institution there. There's always a bad guy. There's always an Elon Musk. There's always this like bad white man institution is always present. So this idea, like every time we decide on the internet that we put some flagpole in the sand, this thing, I don't think that's necessarily fair, like the way it's become this marker. Like I don't think it's always just everybody's just making excuses. I think people legitimately can feel like whatever. I that was my perspective on it. I wouldn't have personally. I was not pressed to get rid of my Twitter blue. I didn't give a fuck about all of this. But I'm a team player. Y'all remember y'all bullied me. I succumbed to bullying, and that's why I kept it real. I kept it real. I said it today. I even commented on Rihanna's thing. I was like, I literally said it. I actually shared these sentiments, but I am just too tired to get jumped. I'm not gonna get jumped. I am like, listen, I'm on a team, so I got rid of it.
I do wonder now, though, if it's even beneficial anymore because of
what that
check mark now signifies, and people are automatically blocking everyone with check marks. Like,
exactly.
I wonder if it would help.
I have an extension. I can share it with you. It's just going wild right now. I'm just like I'm looking at a screen going like blah 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 blah. It's nuts.
Yeah, no, I agree. And that's another thing. So the app is breaking down in general. There are a million glitches. So that has
it's so bad.
Yeah,
it's so bad. It's such trash now.
Yeah, that was the reason why I couldn't fight for it. I just took my bullion and I just canceled the subscription because it wasn't applicable anywhere. The app doesn't fucking work at all. So Twitter Blue doesn't do anything other than make you have a corny ass check mark and be associated with a bunch of losers. So listen, I took my bullying. I succumbed to King Matt Binder on this one. I also listen, Binder, I name drop you in my episode tomorrow.
Oh yeah,
I did. Yes, I name dropped you.
I'll have to check it out. Listen, Ole, I obviously would have given you a pass if you stayed with Twitter Blue. I was personally trying to save you from all the blocks.
I appreciate it. No,
but
I appreciate it.
Listen, like I said, like I don't care what people do. I'm just letting people know why I view that in that way. And yeah, I do view people who, this is my own personal thing. You're free to subscribe if you think it's so important, but I will personally view you in a certain way. And I'm not saying you should care about that. I'm a nobody to you. Maybe it doesn't matter at all, but I'm just letting you know how I'm personally viewing that. And I can tell you, judging by the reaction, that a lot of people view it that way too.
Bender said, what Bender is saying to you is, if you have Twitter Blue, you're a corny motherfucker, a bozo, if you will.
You are, yeah. And you know what? I'll go so far to say, if you're paying for verification on Facebook or Instagram too, you're a loser. Why are you paying for that? Why are you paying for that?
Wait, you can pay for that?
Yeah, I didn't even know that you could.
Instagram just recently enrolled.
The reason Facebook and their Facebook Instagrams are a lot more expensive. It's $15 each. So if you want to verify both your Facebook and Instagram, it's $30 a month.
Jesus Christ!
But the difference, I think, the reason they haven't got so much shit is because they're actually verifying people. Like they're actually contacting people and checking. They're asking for like verification, like an ID, and then you actually have to use like your real name. But also though, you don't get anything special like Elon's promising. Elon's saying like, we're gonna just fill your feed with Twitter Blue people. Facebook and Instagram saying we're just basically verifying so people can know that you are who you are. We're not giving any special like platform push or reach or anything. So I think that's why they haven't gotten so much shit for it. But all in all, you're providing content for these companies. The trade-off has always been, they provide the platform, you provide the content, they let you post as much content, all these videos, gigs of shit if you'd like, and in return, they'll monetize it so they could let you do it, and then they'll also, if you get really popular or you hit a certain mark, they'll then also share that revenue with you. It was you scratch my back, I scratch yours. It was everyone was getting something out of the ordeal. This now is not that. This is basically, we want you to pay us to post content. And that's just, and you're not, it's not like, okay, if you pay us, we will no longer sell ads on you now, because again, when you don't pay, you're the product, which again, the trade-off was, fine, you can use my data for advertisers, but we get to use this platform to make money too. But with this, it's, you pay me, and I'm still going to sell your data and still show you ads. So that trade-off is no longer there. So I think paying for these platforms in any way, sense, or shape, or form is bullshit. You shouldn't do it. It's a big scam.
Is there a way to block advertisements like you can block Twitter Blue?
Oh, you can block ads.
Well, I know that you can, but like, I guess I mean like Matt's block, like where there's an app. Can you do that? If so, somebody
Well,
should.
That's what I've been using. That's what I've been using all day. There's a Chrome extension that allows you to just auto block any Twitter Blue subscriber, and you can. So I had a day today where I was basically doing the great blocking, and so the first person I've ever blocked in my life, because I have a flawless fucking track record, zero. I am the free speech master. Like all these people who block me, I have a fucking list. There's like Jordan Peterson all the way down to Sam. Like every single one of the ghouls who like fucking talks about free speech, they can't take it. None of them can take it. And then all of a sudden, that's when I was like, okay, so I'm never going to block anyone out of principle just because it's funny, but also because I fundamentally believe in the marketplace of ideas and we should be allowed to discuss these things, blah, blah, blah. And at the same time, I finally got to this point where I was like, okay, we're here now. This is happening. I have to block everyone. I blocked Elon Musk first. Today, my first block ever. Elon Musk. I did it. I feel good. I feel clean. I've had about 8,000 blocks since then. It's still going. I'm still looking at the screen. It looks like the Matrix of blocking.
I'm curious, Lance. How are you going to do any of your work, considering all the people you cover are all going to be like?
I know.
It's
going to be such a bigger. It is an inconvenience because like once. Okay, so Jordan Peterson blocked me because he had a picture where he's like, "Look at me, my M14 or whatever," and he's like shooting something, and I put the target as apple cider, and he blocked me, and I was like, I didn't want the block. I was like, Jordan, no. Oh, this is sad to me. I want to keep interacting with you. I want to keep being able to drop memes in your replies and stuff like that. But like that's the game is the game, and he blocked first. So
Lance, I can give you access to my sock puppet account, Futbucker69, currently named Libtardo2 after the Jimmy Dore stuff. I'll shoot you the password later. We can share that account.
Thank you so much. Thank you. That's a true friend. That's a true friend right there.
If I don't see Tyler Hackner in here, I'm gonna lose it. Tyler is our biggest fan.
Okay. Okay, so how about talking about Fox News settling the Dominion lawsuit? They go on to
listen to your block, Ginny. Sorry.
Say David Pakman says the settlement is better than going to trial would have been. Do you agree?
I haven't seen David's take on this. He's been following it more closely than I have, but just instinctually,
he said who said the settlement is better than the trial?
I think she said David Pakman said this.
Yeah.
I don't agree with that. I was really disappointed in the settlement.
How is that possible?
With the
what
trial,
was his how did he explain? What was his explanation for that?
That is what the question says. That's it. I got nothing else.
Why
I have to know his argument, because ultimately, if they went to trial, wouldn't there have to be like we'd have to see people from Fox testify, right?
Yeah,
like, there'd be
we were
video
going to see them on the stands. They would be more humiliated and exposed. And that was really what I was hoping for, not just for them to pay financially, but like in terms of legitimacy as well. Like that was my hope. So for them to settle, it kind of felt like they were putting business above democracy, which is something that's not surprising, but it just kind of felt like they could have gotten, like David's tweet, I think, put it best. If they waited, they would have gotten more money and exposed Fox News. So I was really frustrated and disappointed. I did a video on this as well, and I felt like they should have waited it out. Although I will say that there is another lawsuit with Smartmatic. Is that the company? They're suing Fox News for the same reason for $2.7 billion. So hopefully we'll still have this like blockbuster trial. But I'd have to see David's take. But just instinctively, I don't agree. I really wanted them to go to trial.
I wanted to see the clown show.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, there would have been like this is a huge win for Fox News. There was clearly no agreement where they had to. I haven't seen them admit on air at all any sort of wrongdoing in this case. Dominion won big, of course. They got paid. They got paid big. This was a big win for Dominion and its lawyers. Also a big win for Fox News. We all fucking lost. How does this affect Fox at all? $765 million or whatever? Pfft, they'll make that back, no problem. In fact, I saw them just recently. I just saw a piece recently how they were reached out for comment, and they were talking about how they're going to be able to use this for a tax write-off.
Oh, right.
What?
That's true.
This is a write-off now?
Yeah, because lying is a part of their business.
Wait,
it's a tax write-off.
Oh my god!
Wait, but you're memeing, right? It's not.
I'm memeing about that part of it, but but the article, the comment they gave was that it was a tax write-off. Yeah, I'll pull it up.
Yeah, and they're also defiant now about the Smartmatic lawsuit too, because they're claiming that the election lies, that was newsworthy. That's their defense. So they're emboldened by this.
Here it is.
This is Lever News.
Lever News.
David Sirota. Fox News could potentially write off a massive portion of the $787.5 million settlement it agreed to pay Dominion. Fox Corporation's chief communications officer, Brian Nick, confirmed to Lever News on Wednesday that he could confirm tax deductibility of the settlement, but not the amount. According to a review by Lever, the company could deduct up to $213 million from their income taxes under provisions of the American tax code that allow companies to write off legal bills as ordinary and necessary business expenses. Since the dispute was settled between two companies and not with the government, Fox can claim tax benefits on the payment. There you go.
It's the cost of doing business.
Yeah.
So honestly, while I was joking about how lying is part of their business so they could write it off, I was joking about that phrasing of it, but that's literally what this fucking is.
Yeah. Absolutely ridiculous.
I'm just over here like not being able to conceptualize over $200 million to make that money, and that's just what they're going to potentially get as a write-off. I'm like, wow.
Yeah. It
That's
pays
incredible.
to be a piece of shit in capitalist America.
Fucking apparently. Good Lord.
Yeah.
All right. So this one is not political. This one is for Olay. Olay, do you have any good stories about your cat that you'd like to share?
Good stories.
Yeah.
Well, Raheem wasn't talking to me for this is Thursday, so he wasn't talking to me for the first 2 days of the week because I went to Florida on the weekend and I didn't run it by him. And I felt a way about it at first, but I did raise him to be, to set boundaries, and he wasn't fucking with it. So it's important that he make it clear. So he only just now got back good with me. So I'm just trying to keep it cute. And the thing is too, just for the record, I knew I fucked up. I didn't run a better cat. So I came back on the right tip. I ordered the fancy feast. It was already at the door when I got back. So literally I left my suitcase downstairs and immediately I just came with the cans open and he still wasn't fucking with me. He was like, drop it in the bowl and back up. He wasn't talking to me. Every time I look at him, he turned this way. I said, oh, okay. So I was all right. I got it. So that's where he's at.
I wanted to ask you, Ole, because you went to creator class, you met Hassan. How was all of that? It looked like you had the time of your life, and it was very, very nice to see.
Did you ask Hassan the big question?
Had the time of his life.
Did I make it happen?
I will ask him. I'll DM him my phone.
But you didn't ask him there. Unbelievable. You said you would.
I would. Listen. First of all, it was incredibly made.
Always going.
It was incredibly made. The whole thing. It was incredibly made. Mm-hmm. Yeah, no,
you got to see John. You got to see John Morrison though. That's pretty cool.
I'm not gonna hold you. I don't know none of them white people. I do not know none of those people. I only knew those people. The only person. Listen, none of those motherfucking people.
I knew the main event guy because he's a pro wrestler. He's actually not a content creator. I don't know why he was in that.
No, these motherfucking people. Okay, I know Jarvis, and I because I seen his reality stuff. He was just it. I literally was texting Lance, Lance, oh my God, I am suffering. Oh my God. I was just there. Literally, my friend Alex, LOL overruled on TikTok. Alex wanted me to go last minute. Alex was like, can you come for the weekend or whatever? And I was like, all right, cool. Let me go be a friend. I was like, I'm literally just here to be cute and go. And literally, I stayed long enough. I would stay long enough for Alex to be talking to him, make a friend, and I'd be out. I'm uninterested. The hypest, my whole part of the trip was getting to go to Build-A-Bear workshop. I built me some fly ass little bears. I was very excited about that. And I took my ass home. I was just there to be a good supportive friend, but I was not there to enjoy myself. I was invisible, and I like it. Nobody was checking for me. I was just in the corner minding my business. Yes, this is nice. Nobody sees me. Yes, Irish exiting at every turn. And I'm an Irish exiting extraordinaire. I never say bye. It's against my religion. I just have. I don't know why I have to sneak out. I have to. Oh my God! I'm just that's me all weekend, just in my bag. So that was my weekend, and now I'm back. That's my story.
Shout out to Alana too for winning. That's pretty sweet. Friends with Alana, she's awesome. Great.
Alana, what's her last name?
Pierce.
People really was.
I watched her podcast, the Friends Per Second podcast, gaming.
Oh, okay, yeah. I do like her content. Yeah, she was on Inside Gaming.
She was on one episode, I think, but yeah.
I like
Alana. She works in
Elena.
the gaming industry, and Yes, right, Elena. I'm mispronouncing that. I had her on the show, and she was going off about the difficulties that surround, being openly LGBTQ and working obviously as a woman in the video game industry. And this was like before elements of the video game industry got as intense as they did. Like that was nuts. Yeah.
Yeah, I like her a lot. I didn't know you were friends with her. That's cool. We'll have to bring her on sometime because I've been a long time.
Okay, sorry. I should correct. Online friends. We have not met in real life. I don't. Yeah.
None of us have. We're still friends.
I met you, Mike. You forgot already.
We're friendly. We DM each other sometimes, tell each other funny things. She was like DMing me when the Quartering was being an asshole, and I was like, oh fuck him, and then I'll put him on blast. Don't worry, that kind of stuff. But no, I don't. I've never IRL met her. Actually, for everyone here,
I fully talk to Lance on a regular basis now in real life. Like bother Lance throughout the day, like audio note, bother him too. Like I bother Lance like a Caribbean mother. Like here's a whole audio note of what I'm thinking about Lance. Like literally any little thing, Lance. Like
that's funny.
Weren't we gonna have like a WhatsApp chat or something because we can't trust Twitter?
Right.
I want that. I want that. I want us to have a group chat. That's what I want. That's basically what I think right now. Olayemi, Blair, maybe Mike. We're like the only ones who are like WhatsApping each other. I think. I don't WhatsApp Matt Binder or David.
I don't even have the app.
Like I want that to happen.
Say, Lance, I don't have WhatsApp. Who the hell are you messaging?
Okay. Is it honestly
It's not me, brother.
All right. Well, fair enough. We need to make this app then. Let's make this happen.
Is it just an app? You just like download it?
WhatsApp, yeah.
Wait, WhatsApp?
Sorry.
None of you have WhatsApp?
I'm not
being wild right now. Mike, we've texted each other.
We told you that.
You know what I use WhatsApp for? That's where my son's elementary school soccer team get their practices like scheduled together. That's it.
Wait, no one here uses WhatsApp?
Foreign
told
you that was
wild to me. Oh, okay.
Foreign explained that to you, Lance. We literally explained to you that was a foreigner thing. More like that. We were like, that's what we knew. Like, it's a foreigner cell.
I like to speak to my family in Poland. We just still use Skype. So I was like, I don't use WhatsApp.
Oh, y'all need to know Blair. Blair. Come on over to the new. Come on. But
I still don't know how to use Discord. Like I turned on Discord after I joined our little server, and then I'm like, what the fuck is going on? Like I think I posted one.
I don't understand.
I'm looking at every chat right now, and they're all just like, I thought all of you knew each other better. You have to increase this. Okay, I hope you know some things. Me and Mike.
Oh wait, hold on. I gotta interrupt here. Hold on, I gotta interrupt here. Someone just messaged me. We gotta correct this because I like being correct. I don't like putting words in people's mouths. Someone just said David Pakman didn't say it was better for the country to have Fox settle. He said it was best for Fox that they settled. The question was worded poorly.
That makes sense.
Okay.
I feel like I saw it. I needed to just get it out there.
Like that, so that's why I'm surprised.
Yeah.
That's what we were talking about. Oh, the origin, because they said we know each other better. Lance was about to give them the origin story.
Well, I was gonna say one of the reasons why I'm so sad that Twitter is just like collapsing in real time is it's my primary for all of my other fellow content creators. That's where I DM each other. That's where me and Mike have like just when I'm going through some shit. Mike will DM me, and when he's going through some shit, I'll DM him, and then like you hit up each other. Same thing with Blair. We've done the same thing via Twitter. So that's why when Twitter was falling apart, that's why it was like that sucks to me for not because of the whole Elon Musk shit or anything like that. This is my primary method of reaching out to other creators. Like always has been. It's the number one DMing place for me.
Yeah, that's a great point.
I have downloaded the WhatsApp.
the WhatsApp has me weak. Yeah,
get there.
Yeah, we don't all know each other in real life. Like Lance put together this band of misfits on a fluke. That's what happened. Like, I very much love that y'all don't like waterboard us with like meetings. I really appreciate that. Like I find that people who do a lot of talking about meetings do less. Like we have no meetings, no universal central means of communication, but we get the show done every Thursday.
But you know what's so beautiful about that is you are all the ones who answered the call. And it was through Twitter. I was DMing all of you. I was DMing David Dole, blah, 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 but I DM'd so many other creators. Like so that day, I was just like, who's gonna answer? And then like you were the ones who answered, and then we were just having a fun time. I was like, this is fun. Let's keep doing
the election live stream to be clear for those not.
Let me answer a certain comment. Kelsey, who says I look so pretty. Thank you. That reminded me somebody else's comment like 30 minutes ago, but I was real high when they said my makeup was so good tonight. And I meant to say, this is my real natural face. Y'all keep putting the battery in my back, and so I'm getting lazy. I had my makeup done too because I was on the news earlier, and then I was like, oh, this feels heavy. I'm so fried. And I was like, oh, they put the battery in my back last time. I'm gonna take it off. So
You're on the news. Bury the headline. On the news about what?
I'm always on it. I'm always. I didn't want it to sound how it was gonna sound, but yeah, I'd be on the news. You know that's the thing.
The news where? Where's the news?
The Rio TV this time today. So.
Oh yeah, you did mention that. Yeah.
I be places. I do stuff. I just don't. I don't. Real G's moving silence like lasagna. You know what I'm saying? Like,
you love that Lil Wayne line. Oh my god.
Listen, okay. You see it. You see it.
Yes. Oh my god. I love what is Lil Wayne, 2 Chainz lines. Who fucking else? I don't know. I love all that shit. Are you kidding me? That is excellent wordplay. Anyway.
Hell yeah.
Sorry.
I once did in high school. I went to a boarding school in West Virginia high school. I don't know if I've told you all the story. I'd be fried every episode, so it's hard to know. But I had to take I took classical music appreciation. That tells you boarding school, college preparatory, West Virginia. And I sure did present to those people an entire presentation on Lil Wayne. Read them the I'm Me lyrics, like, let me explain you art, like, did the whole thing. You need to see the white people chef's kiss. Foolishness.
Did you do it just for their expressions? Because it sounds like.
First of all, I stood by it. I felt it deeply. Listen, one thing about me, I'm a persuasive bitch. Okay, I was born to be a lawyer. I definitely sold the argument. I don't remember what the presentation was, but I was making plenty sense. What? Lil Wayne bars, real rap bars. Okay, classics. What are you talking about? Louisiana great. So I did that. I wish I did so much. I really was always meant to be a defense attorney in my spirit. When I think about the things I did, just adversarial shit like, I don't care that I'm the only black person here. It's not adding up. Let's talk about it, y'all. Let me take on the whole school. That's the kind of foolishness I do.
On the topic of rap and music, I'm not sure if any of you saw this, but an AI made song released, featuring Drake and The Weeknd, and
I saw your takes.
Very convincing, and honestly, probably one of the best tracks that Drake has put out in the last 5 years.
Let's hear it.
I can't play it. YouTube's pulling it. Everyone pulled it down.
So it's not real. It's not real.
No, I know, which is what I want to talk about. This is we're in a weird zone now where their label has went to Spotify, all these places to pull down this song that isn't even real, but it sounds enough like it's them. So do they have no real legal standing if they were challenged?
I honestly think they should. I honestly.
Well, they actually do have legal standing.
Yeah, I feel like they.
But it's not their song.
But it's based. But it's based. It's based on the data from their song.
I think
their voice, but someone wrote the song, someone sang the song, someone rapped the song, and then put their voice over their own. Over their own voice.
I mean, my personal opinion is as long as they're not monetizing it, people should be able to do fun stuff like that. But the problem is that without a doubt, people are looking to monetize that.
The law will evolve.
Okay,
the law is
that was the debate I got into today. Sorry, I want to interrupt. But
the law will involve internet law in and of itself is fairly new and still developing, blah 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 blah. But they will make the law develop. It will develop to encompass this. This is going. There's no way they're going to leave this where they're not going to find some legal standing. The court's not going to recognize them for the challenger because it's obviously going to become a problem. It's going to threaten them in some way. It's going to happen, right? So they're going to make some legal ground.
I feel like we're in sort of Napster zone where this is the dawning of a new era, and you can't really put the genie back in the bottle. Once people start making this fake music,
back in the bottle, I think it's powerful.
Well, they did put the genie back in the bottle. They moved everything to streaming, where the record labels are making all the money now.
I found 2 new ones today that were also really good. I'm downloading new Drake tracks, their new songs.
I just think they need to find a way to put a kibosh on it. I think it's a serious problem, affecting their money. Artists already.
It's going to keep happening.
Yeah, but I think they can find a way. They can do something.
It's not going to keep happening if those AI platforms are no longer legally allowed to train their AI on those songs.
Well, yeah, okay. It's not going to be on like social media platforms, but it's going to be in peer-to-peer networks. Like people are going to be sharing this music around. Like it's good. The creation of the music.
But what I'm saying is,
what
I'm saying is the AI platforms that they're making these songs on, that they're training this data on, are not going to be able to do it anymore. Like I guess people who will be able to circumvent it
for every single singer in the world. Like how do you control for that? You can't.
Oh, the RIAA has that taken care of. Every major artist who wants to just registers their song with the registers with the RIAA.
Right,
but
the song, their voice. The problem is the voice.
It's the
Matt,
voice.
I wish you could hear this. If you could hear this, that's the part
this
where you're
is
like,
not Drake's lyrics. Like this is completely. It just sounds like him.
But it's likeness.
It's not. But it's not pulled from the song.
There's likeness in some way, which I'm sure
like
we recognize.
But people have similar voices. How do you control for like? I don't know how you do that. Like I get a whole song. You can capture that. Like AI can or whatever algorithms can recognize what a full song is, or even parts of a song. But just someone's voice plucked out of the song, like just the sound of not even out of a song. Just what their voice sounds like.
Become incredibly, but that's exactly
it's their likeness, yeah.
But that's
someone else can say that's my voice.
Bro, let me explain.
Similar voices.
Let me explain something. The law is not there to be efficient. That is not what the law is meant to do. The law is there to be incredibly slow and tedious and expensive and to disincentivize motherfuckers to get involved. The reality is all those things, your likeness, IP is already, there's an entire reason there's an IP area of law. And so all these things could be litigated. What is your likeness? What is this? Images, they do it for other things. All that means is they would employ an incredibly expensive, tedious legal process for determining and pulling out where you did this and and it'll sink people. They will make this something that is too expensive and a problem for you to do. Trust and believe they have no problem making this a very expensive, litigious matter. They're gonna do it. You gonna go to jail.
Oh yeah, you don't fuck with the music industry. Like I saw a meme.
Yes,
I saw a meme going around of like AI of like illustrators and like digital artists that make like visual art. They were like, it's like a scene from like a Thor movie or something, and the AI is like the monster or the bad guy, like Loki or something, and goes like, "You can't stop me." And then like the Thor character is labeled as the illustrators and visual artists, and they're like, "You're right, but he can." And in the next shot, it's like a giant beast comes out of a volcano, and it's labeled the RIAA, the recording artist. You don't fuck with the music industry. You do not fuck with the music industry. They have tons of money, tons of lawyers just waiting for moments like this, and it definitely is their likeness. I mean, Disney just announced that they signed a deal with James Earl Jones. It was a couple months ago to continue to use his voice for Darth Vader, where he's not going to need to do any more work for it, but they needed to.
Perpetuity. I've thought this was going to happen to The Simpsons for so long. I was like, we are almost close to infinite Simpsons. Once they buy the rights to all their voices, they'll never stop.
Well, it's a little bit different I think, but with someone whose voice is already supposed to be slightly robotic, it's probably easier to do that with. But they still have to pay.
In general, James Earl Jones, it's iconically just like in The Lion King, for example.
I mean, the character. I'm talking about the character though, so they're able to get away with it. I think a little easier. Yeah. But they had to make a deal with James Earl Jones. They couldn't just say we're going to record we're going to use all these. They have the rights to all the current recordings. They could have just said we're going to train the AI data on what we own, and we're just going to go ahead with it. But the fact is, they don't, because it's his likeness, his voice. So they had to pay him to be able to use it, even though he's not gonna have to record that himself.
Do you know for how long? Like, is it in? Like, I thought that was Star Wars too. When you see all this like deep fake Star Wars faces, where it's like that's Mark Hamill as like the young Mark Hamill. Do you have the rights to do this in perpetuity? If Mark Hamill passes away, can he sign off, or the estate sign off? Oh yeah, you can do this forever. Like you could never stop doing the likeness of Mark Hamill as this Luke Skywalker. Is that a thing?
I don't even know. I don't even know if it's in perpetuity or I'm not sure.
I'm not sad. People are asking why I look sad. I'm not sad. I don't know.
You've never once struck me as sad.
I guess that I look sad just like sitting there. I'm not sad, I promise.
Why wouldn't Mike be? Oh, I just saw that now.
That's a fair point, though. Fair point.
They just want you. No, but like, hey, David.
Oh wait, I should say, hold on. I'm reading
as happy as possible. Sorry.
I'm reading more about this, and it seems like the original reporting was wrong. He didn't actually sign off on any sort of deal. He just signed off on using archival voice recordings to keep Vader alive, but he hasn't given away his rights to his voice.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
But it's still it's like a brand new. Like, this is not a legal or sorry, not an ethical or legal ground that I've heard of before. Where I genuinely thought, what if people have to in perpetuity be a character forever? Like, you know, if Dan Castellaneta or whatever, it has to be Homer or one of those characters, or like, you know, Mark Hamill has to be Luke Skywalker forever. What does that mean? Like, can you give away your rights forever? Like, decades later, you're still making movies, and everyone's like, "Oh, this is not the actual movie."
Yeah, we're getting to a weird place. This is all stuff. Like, I think there's like a lot of questions, not many answers.
Yeah.
We're gonna have to see where it all goes. I don't know.
Okay, here's a random question, and I feel like this relates to something news-wise, but I have no idea what it is. It just says, "How do you feel about Ohio?" That's it.
Hate them.
Something happen in Ohio? Like,
yeah,
I don't think I may have driven through it.
Actually.
Because my heart is in Ohio.
Wow.
That a real
From my wrists and slash my eyes. From my wrists and slash my eyes.
This is why I couldn't believe you were straight edge. This is why I was like,
"Cause you kill me."
Oh, I love Hawthorne Heights. Thank you for that.
Oh, I don't at all. That's why I barely remembered the lyrics. They suck.
Breaking my little emo heart. All right.
They're all right. They're all right. They're not bad.
Okay. All right. Let's see here. So we've had a couple people asking about Zoe Zephyr. I hope I'm saying her name right. The transgender Montana representative that's being threatened and being censured. If anyone has any opinion on her situation right now, because I've only seen little snippets, so I don't feel super duper informed to speak on it.
Yeah, I was going to say the same thing. I haven't dived too deep to really be able to talk about this intelligently myself.
Okay, that's fair then.
Okay, so I was just looking it up. Whether it was the exact person I was thinking of. Yes, 100%. This is one of those situations where like every single word that is said in that speech is harrowing. Like when you listen to that speech and you watch it, just like word for word, it's just like, holy shit, this is all so true. That's my only thoughts on this topic is that genuinely it was an incredible speach. And I was just wanted to make sure that it was the one that I was thinking of. But yeah.
I'll have to check it out.
Yeah, absolutely. Same. Yeah, I just feel bad because I'm not super informed on that topic and I feel very bad. I feel like maybe I should have known, but
I feel like we're all fixated on like Missouri this week in terms of like
that's because it's
politics,
so fucked, right?
Yeah, that's kind of been my
like they've achieved what everyone said was going to happen if people just kept going down this pathway of like it's not even about children anymore. It's about anybody. Like you can just like that's so fucked up. I think that was on Monday, right? When that got passed.
Yeah, for those who don't know, I think it was last Friday when it happened. The Attorney General of Missouri, Andrew Bailey, he unilaterally effectively banned gender affirming care for everyone, including adults. And there's like a million different caveats to even qualify. You have to wait 3 years to get HRT. And even if you do qualify, you have to be subjected to tests to make sure that you are not autistic or you're not the victim of social contagion. Like it's genuinely bonkers. And on top of that, I have a video about this tomorrow. He created an anti-trans tip line so you can report anyone for trans activity, basically. So watch my video tomorrow. In my description box, I have the link to that tip line. Blow it up. Send in a bunch of shit. Just like flood it because it's super fascistic and horrifying. That tip line was created because there was one whistleblower at the St. Louis Children's Hospital. And this person claimed that they were like pressuring doctors into overprescribing HRT, and like it was just bullshit.
No.
And this person just books appointment.
Yeah, like
the doctors
when
came
the chat
out.
said Gestapo for trans people, I was like 100%. Sorry to interrupt. Keep going.
Yeah, no, I was gonna say that like everyone else has debunked what this person says. Like former coworkers, families with kids there, they're like, no, we're not being pressured. The coworkers are like, I can go line for line through her affidavit and debunk every single thing that she's saying. It's bullshit. But yet, because of that, now the Attorney General set up this tip line, so you can report anyone who maybe took their doctor to a pediatrician to get their kid gender affirming care, anything like that. It's deeply fascistic and worrying. And they're kind of like, it seems like there's this race to the bottom for red states to be like the most genocidal and harsh towards trans people. And Missouri just like out of nowhere really like rushed in the first place. But I mean, there's a lot more going on in Florida, for example, like where trans kidnapping could be a thing. There's a lot, so it's hard to keep up, honestly. But that's kind of like Missouri and what I focused on this week.
So yeah, and while Missouri was going on, I was looking at, what was it, the 3, or are we up to 4 now, children that have been randomly shot for there's so many shootings, there's so many laws being passed. It's just somewhat, and maybe I'm like being a doomer here again, but I'm like, it's pretty overwhelming.
Yeah, it just all in random shooting. Well, not random, but like bizarre shootings in the same week. Like Ralph Yarl, excuse me.
Ralph's was like, just like you. Why didn't anyone like push back on? You have to see this for what it is. Like this is people who are being programmed 24/7 by Tucker Carlson, Fox News, and it turned out to be 100% true. I was saying that as a generic statement earlier. I was like, this feels like Tucker Carlson style Fox News, like just mind virus shit being programmed, and that's what it was. And then like, when you see the photos of Ralph, you're like, that's a kid. That's a kid. You tried to shoot a kid in the face through the window. Why would you do that? That's so fucked up. Like like you have to understand the explanation for all this, and then like to find out, like, you know, relatives being like, well, it turned out that you know, how one of his relatives put it, it's Fox News is the Nickelodeon of people with like mental illness or something like that in their late stages of life, where they're like trying to like force them into doing something horrifying, was like what his actual relatives said or something like that. And I was like, that's so sad. That's so sad that you said that. That's such an incredibly sad statement all around, every part of this. And like, yeah, the programming, you know, it's fucking, yeah.
Yeah, we've all done things like this. Like I've knocked on the wrong door, driven into the wrong driveway, almost got into the wrong car. I mean, we've all been in these situations. But you know, in America, it could get you shot or killed.
Yeah, it's the guns and the easy availability, easy accessibility to guns. And because, of course, this stuff happens in every country. People knock on the wrong door, go to the wrong place, whatever, and they don't get killed. And also, I think it's the prevalence of guns mixed with a media culture of fear where people are always scared all the time. Local news has done a number on people for decades, like just the focus on like, this person was killed today, this person was killed today, there was a break in here. So like every single day people tuning into this shit and just thinking like this is the entire community, and just always being on edge. Like it's a combination.
Yeah, I'm glad that you brought the local news up. Like, I don't ever watch local news, but I was at my mom's house a couple of years ago for Thanksgiving, and she had local news on. And for the entire episode, they hyped anthrax. Like, hey, a white powder was sent to this area in Portland. Turns out, when they actually covered the story towards the end of the hour, it wasn't anthrax, but they hyped it up the entire fucking time. And so, like, if you don't even watch to that point, you just think, oh my God, anthrax is available. We're under threat. There's terrorism. Like, they just always keep you on edge because that's how they keep you glued. Like, it's about ratings, and it's sick. It's having an impact on the culture in a very, very toxic way.
Well, and not to add to the pile, but aside from the 3 that you just showed on screen who were shot, there was also a 4th, which was a 6-year-old girl as well. In case that one was missed, because, you know, there can never be too much variety in our shootings here in the U.S.
Yeah, because her basketball rolled into somebody.
Yes.
And I saw the interview with her, and she's like, "Why would you shoot my dad?" It's just, I mean, what the fuck is happening? It's just so horrifying.
I forgot what it was, but I remember taking a psychology class at this point nearly a decade ago in college. And one of the things was, it was like there were two big drivers as to what drives the human like psyche and what drives us to move or do things. And like the first one was fear. And I don't remember what the second one was, but this pertains to fear, because I think truly the news thrives off of that. If we are always in a constant state of fear, then we're going to continue to doom scroll and look through everything and get more, hyped up and freaked out. And I think that, as fucked as this is to say, like, as this continues to happen, of course it's going to become news stories and things to talk about, because it's something that they can sensationalize and hype up. And it's really sad because we're using human lives, those who die, those who are injured, those who are going through things, to just, I don't know, create content for an ever shortening news cycle that's shortened to a degree that I don't think we've ever seen before. And it's just a very weird, sensationalized, and almost like what's like euphoric, but in like the opposite way. Like it's not like it almost feels like we're in like a trance, if that makes sense.
I was trying to be like, just maybe a German word for that.
Well, I'm sure there is.
Lance. I was saying something before, but I think I got cut off because my internet went down for a second. I think we have a very sick problem here in this country when this is happening over and over again. I said it earlier when it was just two cases, when it was just that the boy, what was his name again? Ralph
Yarl.
Yeah.
Ralph Yarl.
Right, and that teen girl, or that 20-year-old girl in upstate New York. I mean, in all these cases, it's young people who are paying the price, who are facing the consequences of the sick culture we have, and it is guns, obviously, but for these specific cases, it's more than that too. It is the paranoia and fear-mongering, and a lot of it is racist. Even in the case of that 20-year-old white girl in upstate New York who was shot and killed, that man in that house probably didn't care. He didn't know he was shooting at a bunch of girls in a car. He just saw a bunch of cars and has been watching Fox News and all these other right-wing outlets tell him over and over again that there's riots in Chicago and they're coming for you next after they loot the stores. And that's what they're getting over and over again. And young people of all colors are going to continue to die and have their lives ruined because of this sick fear-mongering that these older generations have been feeding on.
Yeah, and being heavily armed at the same time. Like, that was the saddest thing to learn about the person who shot Ralph, when it was like, that article where it's like it seems like they were watching Fox News to such a point where they had started to just like go down this post-COVID pathway of like genuinely thinking they were in danger 24/7. Like that's so sad, and everyone's always sounding the alarm on this. Everyone's always like, can't you see this for what it is? Because like, honestly, if you have a person like Tucker Carlson who is like, go on Media Matters for 2 seconds. Go like Google Tucker Carlson. See the white supremacist shit that motherfucker is saying. He's like that is one piece of it, mixed with the propaganda, mixed with all the other shit, mixed with hearing 24/7 criminals are coming. Look at this. You're in danger. You're in danger. And if you're heavily armed and someone goes ding dong, well then of course it's like, it's happening. This is what I was trained for or been told about. Like, that's why.
Well, let's make sure we don't let these people too much off the hook. Like, yes, absolutely. Fox News and these outlets be fear mongering, and these people are being pushed down a rabbit hole, and that is increasing racism and all of that. But it's a lot of the people are racist people choose to watch Fox News. So let's be fucking clear. Let's not just act like these are just they went in there just just peaches on the beach, and then Fox News just
the first racism. It was not.
Yeah.
It was not
So I just want to say that. I'm sure there are some people. There are some people that are like that are radicalized for the negative, whatever. Let me recognize there are a whole lot of people that simply they want to do these things, whatever they see. He saw a black boy at the door, and he was more than happy to shoot him twice. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not just like fair and genuine. There's a lot of it is driven by, again, racism. These are racist because it's not like unfortunately this is not the first black person to make them end up on somebody's lawn and get shot or get killed, or that is a thing. Like literally the other day I'm walking past this white guy's yard and I like, because I have to like kind of walk in the driveway, I'm like, sir, I'm so sorry. And he's like, oh no, it's okay. No, I gotta be clear. Like I'm like, make sure. Hey, I'm walking past. Like that's the thing. That's very much so a thing. So that's been a thing because racism has been a thing. So I just wanted to say that. That's my only 2 cents. Continue on, pressing on, y'all.
Well, I was just going to add to it, and not that it's an excuse for anyone that's doing this shit, but just as like a general kind of reminder about, I don't know, this older generation, the boomers, shall we say. Lead poisoning was a real thing, and some of the side effects to lead poisoning is one, studies literally came out from like FSU and stuff that it actually lowers your IQ, and the boomer generation was greatly affected by it. And it also, lead poisoning long term and as it develops into adulthood leads to things like lowered emotional cognition and ability to actually like distinguish and understand emotional value in people and things of that sort. So it's not an excuse, but it's literally a reminder, because one of the things that I struggle with every single week when we talk about these topics is how can someone, for lack of a better term, be so stupid to just do these things, be sucked down the Fox News rabbit hole and all of that. I literally think we have a whole older generation of folks that are literally brain damaged, and yet they're still in this country. They're making decisions. They're doing. It's not an excuse. And then I do think I see there's also a cultural aspect that racism has been alive and well, but I think that all of those inhibitions or whatever have been lowered due to lead poisoning, and they can be so bold about it because they don't have the mental capacity to feel any other type of way about it. Like I really think that lead poisoning is a big part of this too. And it's
there's a direct connection between when they removed lead from gasoline and the drop in the crime rate right across, like nationally, like a direct drop. I want to see if I can find the source for that. But
the gasoline one, not the first. Like that was something that was like you could see in the numbers when they started removing that, as well as like putting in a lot of different chemicals in a variety of different places.
Absolutely. It's not an excuse. Just because someone goes, "Oh, I have lead poisoning," therefore I didn't mean it. That I don't think the old guy who shot Ralph, for example, I don't think that was like 100% you can pinpoint any one place, but I do agree, broadly speaking, where like we do have to acknowledge that there is this thing where we are all programmed as fucking racist. We are. Like when you look at studies, and especially ones that come out from like, I saw this one from, I think it was New York University, that was talking about how people, and it doesn't matter if they happen to be black or white, they inherently see black people as more dangerous, and it's very easily explainable if you see how that shit is programmed inside all of us. Like just from the propaganda, the videos, the movies, all this shit, like it just keeps reinforcing the same exact thing. So that's that part, and like I think that part played an incredibly like contributing factor into that decision. Like if you were willing to take a gun to shoot a kid in the face, because when you see the pictures, like I know the right always tries to dehumanize black people and black victims of gun violence, and then they'll do this thing where it's like, well, were they using fentanyl? Were they doing this? Were they doing that? And in this case, it's kind of like when you see like this was a band kid. It was a kid who was in band, who had a saxophone, like that. It had to have played something in like, how could you do something so vicious, like out of a fucking movie or something, that levels of evil.
Yeah. And while we're kind of like spiraling about how terrible things are, I just have to bring up the way that Republicans are trying to bring back child labor, and they're successfily doing that. For example, with Iowa,
it's incredible.
I used to remember the days about how we would boast about how far we've come, and we allowed for people to take weekends off, and we stopped child labor, and now it's coming back. So
I saw a funny tweet where it was like, we were just joking about all those tweets where we were all like, the children, they yearn for the mines. Do you remember all those tweets?
I saw something to the effect of like, kids are playing Minecraft because they want to go back to the mines or something like that, and now they're going back.
It's incredible. All
right, Olay has something to say.
I do not. No, I don't. I do not. I'm not.
He's waiting for the Love Is Blind conversation.
I have nothing to say. My heart speaks to me.
We will get to Love Is Blind. Should we do it now?
Yes. Oh my God. Let me.
Oh, I gotta sit this one out. I have no idea.
Oh, wait, who's
Matt,
watched
you and
this?
me,
Who
we
has
can
it?
just chill. I can coast on this one.
I can coast too. Yeah, I've never seen it.
Nice. Oh, Mike. Oh, okay.
No,
All right.
Mike, what?
I know.
Mike, come on, like
I'm very behind on a lot of shows.
Is that a micro question?
Mike.
Was I just I apologize.
It's a good show to get like turn your brain
get a
off
pass.
and just like absorb it.
I would have watched it if I knew we were going to talk about this. I didn't know it was homework.
I don't know where you've been. You didn't watch it either, Blair?
No, I don't know what this is.
Oh my God! Like,
You don't know what it is? Oh my! This is the fourth season now.
David, you start with your thoughts because I got strong opinions.
Well, first we should explain the show. In case you don't know what the hell the show is. It's now it's this is the Netflix show.
Investments in this.
But let me explain, Lance. Stop interrupting. It's now in its fourth season. It's a show. It's okay. It's a stupid like dating show, but the reason why it's not as stupid as the other ones is because people don't actually see each other until until they decide who they're going to marry, if they're going to marry. So they're talking through a wall basically, and they have like 20 dates a day. Like it's something crazy. They date everybody, and then they kind of find who they meld with, jam with, whatever the hell you want to explain it. Connect with. There you go. I'm kind of high now. So
catching up,
but I think it's like 2 weeks of that in or maybe it's like a week of that, and then if you find somebody, you propose to them, and before you even see them, and then you see each other, and then all the drama continues on from there. So it goes up until they get married, and it's all within like a month. They don't know each other and they get married. It's kind of that on that. It's insane. But this season, there were 4 couples at the end. 3 of them got married. One, actually 2, you could say were surprising. One was obvious going to happen. I mean, they couldn't even hide that was going to happen. Tiffany and Brad. Yeah, that no discussion needed there. Whatever. But so this gets to a discussion about editing because Kwame, is it Chelsea? Is that her name?
Yeah, this is foolishness. Mm-hmm.
So throughout this entire show, it really seemed like Kwame was not super into Chelsea,
and that's still true.
Each other.
And that's still true.
And even the reunion, he was like,
I'm like, sir, let me tell you something. You could go swing somebody else, but you can't swing a swinger, okay, baby? Just because you're articulate. Listen, the man is an excellent orator. Okay, he's quick on his feet. Okay, he knows what the audience wants to hear. He don't like that gal. Okay. I don't know the fire Vanessa in them because they wasn't asking questions. Sir, what the fuck you talking about? Oh, you was getting ready to like break up with Micah. Sir, you were boo-hoo crying when Shorty W. You was I thought this was the girl I was gonna marry. Michael walk in the room. This him when Chelsea walk in the room. When Michael walk in the room, I can see clearly now. The rain is. That's my boy. What are you talking about? Get the fuck out of here! Like who you think you swinging?
There could be a lot of heavy editing. Like
the
only thing I would say though is the reunion. Then you're like he still doesn't seem too much into her.
Oh, he does not like that woman. She is pressed over him. I believe she is stigmatized, and I understand whatever that can be a hell of a thing, youngness, but. Ma'am, that man don't like her. He does not like her none at all. That's 1. So let's start there. 2, let's say Mike and Paul. Can we talk about like pretty privilege in when it comes to the Mike and Irina thing? Everybody lays into Irina's ass, right? And Micah, for whatever reason, everybody keeps treating her like they just keep giving her a pass and writing it off like, oh, she's just influenced. No, she's equally the exact same kind of bitch. She's just as terrible. She's morally bankrupt. She's trifling as actual fuck. Every one of her friends is just like that just because she like that. Y'all just think because she cuter, ain't nobody on her ass because Irina smacked in the face. Everybody jumping on Irina, but Micah's what? Micah's trash. Micah's trash. And Paul was cool. Let me tell you something. I know when a man don't like you, when a man can't stand you, you could tell just by the day and hearing her doing all that crying. Paul's face looked like if we weren't around, Paul would be like, bitch, you know good and fucking well. No, you know good and well. He was looking at her like, miss, do not make me talk your business. I'm trying to keep it cute, but you need to keep it cute. He looked like, hey, I can explain why she not motherly. If you really want me to give it up, but you should let me
those two just seem way too young to even make any kind of like serious
Paul don't
decision
like
that.
at all. He don't like her. She's not his type. He thinks she's an airhead. He don't like her character. Look how much I'm listen. And it's facts.
I don't really like anybody.
He ain't lied. He ain't lied. But the real villain, let's talk about Jackie, because she need her ass beat. Because Jackie needs her ass beat. Jackie needs her ass whooped. I never seen nothing like it in my day. I'm like, Miss Mom, like, first of all, it really goes to show you how the world is a fucked up place, right? How the world will just not affirm you. Because Marshall is a handsome man who is a catch. Like, he's way better looking, way better, objectively market value, way better than Josh. But somehow Jackie around there making this man feel like chopped liver. Oh, he's soft, he this, he blah blah blah, he's blah blah blah. Like, girl, stop acting like Josh is Mike Tyson, because he's not that, sweetie. Like, I don't know why we moving like your man looks like Arthur. Relax, my girl. But like, if you want to go be with the next man, you trifling bird, you go be with the next man. But you didn't need to disrespect that man. You didn't need to violate that man. You keep trying to swing it on us, talking about, oh, he called. No, bitch, you don't call him every kind of sweet, soft, gay, feminine. You don't question this man sexuality. Put him out on Front Street, then you want to try swing it around. No, you was calling him all kind of soft, telling him he feminine. So he said, girl, your jawline's strong. That's what he said. That's what he said, and you earned that. You lucky that's all he said to you. He should have called you everything but a child of God. Are you fucking crazy? And for her to be like bragging and Vanessa Lachey there, like, you know, helping her. Oh, yeah, I kept the ring. Yeah, I kept the ring. Bitch, are you impressed? Are you not embarrassed? Oh, I kept the ring. You're a bird. You're a fucking bird. You are a bird. Like, oh my God. And not only are you a bird, but you're a pussy, because you talked all that shit about, oh, I have my receipts. I'm at my receipts reunion. Where you at? Pussy asshole. Why aren't you at the reunion? Why aren't you here?
Just
I
one
feel
last
FOMO.
comment.
I wish I watched it now.
I feel like we're boring everybody, but one last comment on this.
Yeah.
The idea that comment he made about her jawline would hurt her, when, I mean, to me, it's such obviously a joke, because she so clearly is feminine. Like, you know, the idea that she would take offense to that is to me completely insane.
Did you see the tag?
No, I didn't go that deep.
That's David, if you seen what she was talking about him, she's literally in the text. I need to send you. She's in the text of friends, like, he is sweet, y'all. He is this. She literally in the thing clowning on, sending them pictures of. She was clearly already with Josh, like fully cheating. I don't know who she thinks she's fooling. And the fact that they didn't call out, and she literally said in the scene where she's with Marshall, breaking up with Marshall, where the breakup happened, she said, I met up with Josh earlier today. I'm like, Miss Mamas, what, you said it. You said it, and nobody.
Yeah, that's right. She did say it. Yeah.
Yeah, she did say it. You know, I know, because I'm a fucking defense attorney.
Those two hosts, by the way, those two hosts, Nick Lachey and whatever his wife is, like, they have increasingly had less of a presence on that show, and I think that's good. I don't know what they add. They're not good hosts. Like, they're just.
No, Vanessa for sure. Like, Nick Lachey adds nothing, but Vanessa makes shit worse. Like,
it's about the freaking kids, who's having kids like 5 different times. Like, shut
her being against Marshall. Her being against, when she said to Marshall, "Are you considering this woman?"
Absurd.
I was like, is she out of her fucking mind? And are we watching the same show? I couldn't. You know what's go crazy? That was preposterous. You could have never fathomed that. It didn't even occur to me for 1 second we could have a host that would be on Jackie's side, because I didn't know we were in the upside fucking down. What? Like, what? Jackie mama can't be on her side. What are you talking about? Like,
she finds her cool. She wants to be friends with her. Like,
she's there like, oh, because you've got that guy there and blah blah blah. They do this thing. I've noticed this. Vanessa and Nick do this with all their shows. This, the Ultimatum, and all of them. We have a couple guests stays together. They act like they have to rewrite history. They have to pretend to be a fan of it. It's like on the Ultimatum when they did that with that whack ass couple, Madeline and somebody, that terrible couple. Abysmal.
I finished watching that show. I forget everything about that show.
Bro, oh my God. But yeah, we'll move on so y'all don't suffer. Sorry, y'all.
Yeah, sorry everybody, but we had to be done.
Not somebody said Ole is the definition of a worthless cunt. Y'all really carrying on bad in these comments. This is powerful.
What the fuck?
What the
bro.
fuck?
Where is this?
It right in the chat. It's okay, y'all. I know it's actually.
I can say that's not my chat. There's a link on it. That's someone else's. Sounds like a Bender fan.
Yeah, right. Yeah, right.
It's in these. It's in
not
the
mine.
StreamYard, no?
Not mine. Nope.
I don't think it's. I don't see
right
it in
there.
mine.
It's in our regular
It's one of yours because it's got the link on it.
Is it got a link? No, I think it's right. David, I think it's
No,
yours, right?
the way I view it. So they stream from my StreamYard. So they stream out. So when I see a link on a comment, it means it's someone else's.
David said,
where is it? I don't see it. I don't see it. What is it?
It's from NDEC Tablet. That's the person.
What is that?
NDEC space tablet.
Where do you see it?
NDEC tablet. Suck a
In the chat.
Next.
In what chat?
NDEC. Go suck Vince G's dirty cock.
Yeah.
The comments.
2 for
David,
1.
David, pull it up on the screen.
Oh yeah. Do we really want to pull it up? Oh, it's a pretty terrible one.
Dude, wait.
But so you know it exists. Now I got to find it again. It's 10:27.
Yeah, I'm trying to find.
I don't even see it.
That part of the night.
I don't see it.
10:27. You said.
They deleted it. Let me see.
They probably deleted it once they realized.
Oh,
we
I didn't get
we
around
couldn't
to
have
it.
them.
I like Zach and Bliss a lot. I like them. I didn't like that he chose old girl first, but I like them.
I don't see it.
It may have been deleted because the chat freezes. So
oh, I did see it. I see it right now. There it is.
Bring him out.
Is it 10:27?
Oh, I
find it. I don't know why
is it my chat?
Pretty sure.
I just sent a message. Come out, little piggy. To what is their name again?
Well, regardless, we can't comments on this, but the person exists.
Listen, it was pretty clear from the very beginning that it wasn't my audience because everyone knows I got the best audience. It was obviously from one of
audience.
I immediately was
hands down, Serfs. It's definitely Lance's audience.
No, it's not.
This is all nonsense.
Slander. What it is? Y'all think this is? Oh, I'm sorry. Y'all thought this was debatable. I didn't know that. I didn't know this was controversial. It's like obviously Lance's audience. I'm as the resident Black person who's appeared everywhere. It's definitely Lance's audience.
Lance's audience is the bad one or the good one?
The good one.
Nah.
My job is to inform the world.
That's not slander at all. Oh, I'll take that. Oh, hell yeah.
So if I want to inform the world, occasionally there's going to be some shitty people in the world.
You did good, chats.
No,
I don't build walls around what I do.
Absolutely. We all have it.
Everyone's like talking to their audiences right now.
No,
we're all just individually scolding the audience.
This is not an indictment against anybody's fan bases. I'm just saying that Surf Zone is personally my favorite. I enjoy it there.
I did take David for reality dating.
I've been having a lot of fun seeing David Dole's chat in the. Are we at episode 20? Is this episode 20 on 420? Holy fuck!
It sure is.
We've been saying this for 3 hours. Yes.
Damn. Wow.
That's right, Steve Hall.
It's already 10:30 too.
Yeah, I was like, I think it's time for everyone to have a good night.
Yeah, I'll tell y'all.
Probably,
yes. Plug something. Yeah, let's do that so I can plug me. Hey, someone dropped the link. That would be nice if you did that for me, David. The link in the chat to my channel. I'm dropping my video tomorrow. It's on the rights obsession with the trans community and their straw man, hypothetical bullshit arguments. It's great. It's gonna be excellent. It's a good one. Y'all should tune in, and you should watch my Clarence Thomas video from last week if you didn't. It's a banger.
Mm-hmm.
No, that's it. That's the end of my pitch.
Can I plug myself? I'm like 200 subscribers away from 400K. Pretty big milestone. So if you all could go subscribe, I would really appreciate that. Yeah, and also Vince G. I don't know if you're still in the chat. Fuck you. You're a bitch. You're a hater. And the Lord Jesus does not love you. Okay, get right with God.
I love how nobody had on their bingo card that Mike would curse somebody out. No one had that on their bingo.
I just want to say that like Mike, I'm very close to 400,000 subscribers. I just need 370,000 of you to subscribe.
I'll link to all your channels in the chat.
How about this? Here's what I can only do for today. Brianna Joy Gray was mocking my small Patreon amount of subscribers. So I say you should all go to patreon.com/MattBinder and make me bigger than bad faith. I can tell you right now that this is the face you see on Connected to My Show is the face you see actually hosting the show. There's not some secondary person who has been disappeared for 2 years. I am there every episode. So patreon.com/Matt Binder.
Now, real quick, okay, I'm not going to respond to that because I'm not trying to get into any more beefs. But Vince, he said that Mikey would not call me that to his face. Vince, if I saw you in person, I would call you the F slur. Okay, I can't do it over Twitch, but I would call you the F slur. Okay.
Wait,
I really love that no one had that on their bingo. I appreciate that. I love a good plot twist.
As an F slur, I find that really funny.
I just feel like, Twitch, stop being a pussy, okay?
And
You gotta be like really wild to like. I would like to like hate watch this. Like this is a very long program to hate watch.
Yeah,
I know.
Commitment.
That's really
It's
like
real
I want
commitment.
more for you. That's nuts to me. Why would you do that? I wouldn't be here if I didn't enjoy this.
Bro, like
I'm getting to the point now where I'm having a hard time even watching really shitty people like Matt Walsh, like Ben Shapiro. Like I can't comment on this stuff anymore because I don't want to watch it. It's so I don't enjoy it at all. Like I feel like I'm getting to like
we're all so
where Jon
tired.
Stewart
We're all
got
so
at the end of his career, at the end of his show, where he was just like, "This is not doing anything, and I'm tired of this." That's kind of I'm near the point, at least in terms of like watching right wing garbage. I'm near the point of just like cutting it off. Like it's not helping me in any way.
Well, the 2-minute clip that Jason Campbell
never in your fucking life. Not me on Love Is Blind. You must be out your damn mind. No, hell no, no sir.
Yeah, I was gonna say one day I did a video on Jilly Juice, and then I think within like hours of that video going live, she responded, and it was like 37 minutes long, and I made it about 4 minutes into it, and then I sent it to like my editors and writers, and we were kind of all looking over it and seeing how long everyone could get through the video because the response was so rambling that I was just like, I don't even get it. And the thing was about, did she poison and kill her dog and like not treat her dog's cancer, right? Like not a fun topic. And she's over here talking about like, well, Bill Gates and stuff for like the first 3 minutes. I was like, ma'am, I thought this was a response, but Bill Gates. Okay. Anyway.
I do not watch people saying talking shit.
It is time for us to depart. It is 4:20. We all have festivities to festivity over.
I love Vince. I'm just kidding, Vince. I'm just kidding.
And then we'll stay for super chats. The people that are streaming here.
Yeah. All right, y'all have
Bye, y'all. Toodaloo.
Chats. One night.
This is always that awkward.
I would say he made it very awkward. Yeah, that's right.
So the usual control I have to show like all the super chats is not popping up for some reason. So we're gonna have to read them separately on our take turns here. I don't know.
That's all good. I'll just pull it up here. I don't got that many this time around.
By the way, welcome to the Beardy Bro after show, folks, where we kick back and read your super chats.
Right.
So who wants to go first?
I haven't pulled mine up, so I'll let one of you go.
I only got 2 this time, so anyone who wants to drop, I'll read it. YouTube.com/Matt Binder. Get it in quick. Will Binder respond to the less success? This is Isaac Marshall. Will Binder respond to the less successful in growing their Patreon allegations? All right, I addressed it earlier, in full and for much longer than I think Mike was comfortable with. Are you friendly with her, Mike? I'm confused. Are you buddies with her?
I mean, we're mutuals, but like I'm just not like I don't have beef with her. I don't want to instigate.
He doesn't want to start.
I mean, honestly, neither did I. I thought I was having a interesting discussion with her about Twitter for creators, and she took it personally and attacked me. It was very bizarre.
Like anybody, there are things I agree with her on, things that I don't at all. But I don't spend much time really thinking, like talking about it publicly because I don't feel like it's all that necessary.
Yeah, I mean, I was just that's the first time I ever replied to her in a while. But yeah, it is what it is. Patreon.com/Matt Binder. I mean, maybe one day I too can have as many Patreon subs as Bad Faith.
Steve Hall says David Collar Leafs win. I did earlier. They won a 7-2. Big comeback. It's tied series now 1-1 with Tampa Bay. So I'm excited for the next bunch of games. Let's see if Toronto can take it in 5 games. I think so. It's possible. Mike, you want to go or I can go?
Sure. Yeah, I have one from Anthony J. Piccione. Sorry. $5 super chat. Thank you guys for remaining genuinely progressive voices, even as so many fake leftists are going full turf. Wish I could give more. Happy 420, y'all. Thank you so much.
Cat67 is a new member. Thank you. Samantha Baker says, Mike, I love you, man, but you got to back off your mic. LOL, it's so loud. Laughing face.
I did when I saw that super.
This emoji.
As soon as I saw that super chat, I'm like,
oh, there you go. Good.
Thank you for the reminder, actually.
It's funny because like I was saying this to you earlier. I don't notice when we're during the podcast, but when I go to edit clips out, it's like, oh my god, like Mike's up here.
Yeah,
I'm down here.
It's very very difficult.
Sometimes up here, sometimes she's down here. So it is kind of all over the place. This StreamYard's supposed to be taking care of this stuff with auto leveling, but I don't know.
Leftist audio. I have another one here. Lizzie Bennett, $5 super chat. Are we sure Matt Walsh was hacked? Maybe he let the mask slip. Mike, your evil twin is slipping. I mean, I want to believe that he wasn't hacked. Well, I would like to buy
mask slip to say that Rogan is a pedophile. Like, I don't think that's.
No, it definitely was.
That's benefiting him, if anything.
Right. Yeah, it was a hacker for sure. I got DJ Yankee 002. I'm sorry, but everything after clearing the tower is icing on the cake is pure cope. What is that? What did I say? Everything after clearing the tower? Right. That was. I forgot all about that. That was so early this morning that I forgot it happened. Right. And Wanda MV with a super chat. Love you all. Matt and David have the best hair. Mike has the best beard. Thank you.
Well,
I appreciate that.
Oh, thank you.
I kind of take that low-key as a diss, just because my hair is a little bit fucked up right now. I'm not gonna lie, like it's growing, but thank you.
You got some more? Go ahead.
Basherman says, David, love your show. With respect to the Toronto politics, which candidate do you support, and what is the most important issue facing the city? I am not living in Toronto City proper anymore, so I'm not following this at all. From what I know, Olivia Chow would be my choice. From what I've seen, who's running, but I don't know enough to really give an educated discussion on that. Anybody else before I finish mine off?
I got some more.
I got a couple, but you can go ahead.
No, go ahead. I got 2 more, so let's try to split it up.
So I have Mike Thompson with a $5 sticker of the shocked face sticker, $1.99 from One, saying we are one, with a bunch of pride flags and trans flags. And then Howlin Murdoch with $5 saying, I just saw in the news that Pop Smoke's killer only got sentenced to 4 years in a juvenile detention facility. He's 20 now, but was 15 at the time. Oh, okay, I didn't know that. So I'll have to check that out. This was sent when we were talking about like shootings and whatnot, just FYI.
Binder?
Spin me a sailcloth with a super chat. Thoughts on hyper objects, philosophy and ecology after the end of the world as a framework for dealing with what's happening in the U.S. I don't know what that is. Is that a book? I'm assuming I would need to read it or take a look at it or read some sort of summary.
It sounds like I need it.
It's a book by Timothy Morden. I need to check it out. Thank you for sharing it, but I can't answer that question without having any knowledge of the book. And my last super chat is 0PE. Matt, have you covered that Facebook settlement? No, I haven't. Basically, if you were a Facebook user between like May 2007 to December of last year, really big time period there, Facebook might need to pay you a nice little sum of money. Probably not that much, maybe a couple bucks, but you just got to fill out a form. I forgot the, it's like Facebook user settlement. Just Google it. You'll find it. Basically it's a settlement over a number of different user privacy cases connected to Cambridge Analytica, where third parties had access to user data that was unauthorized, and Facebook failed to really do anything about it. They have something like $750 or $725 million set aside for this. How much you get is dependent on how many people sign up. But, I mean, you're not going to get a ton of money. But again, just sign up, get your $2, your $3, your $10, who knows how much. It's free money.
On that point, this is very timely, and this is the next super chat that I have. Lawn Gnome says Facebook was so much better when you needed a .edu email to sign up. Once it became overrun by business accounts, not just ads, it lost its appeal.
Right,
I do
that's
remember
another
back in the day when that's what it was.
True.
Right.
I'm old.
Oh, I got another super chat. Came at the last minute here. Black Hand Jack. I reject the notion that Matt Walsh was hacked and choose to believe that he is in fact Sassy Shooter.
I have one more here too.
That was the name of the. For you, if you don't know, that was the name of the hacker's song. It was like, I'm not gay something. I'm a sassy shooter or something like that.
Okay, so this one is from Patrice Hubbard. It's a 1999 super chat, so very large. Says, "Hey, love you, but per your intro/outro, David is my favorite. JK, love you both the same." So really nice. I understand your position on Marianne, but she has gained a lot of traction, especially with young people in indie media. So indie media should cover and promote her more. My position being that I like her, but am skeptical that she can win. Listen, I do like Marianne. I see that she's blowing up on TikTok, and that's encouraging. But one thing that I have to be very clear about is that after 2 failed Bernie presidential runs, I am extremely jaded, and it's hard for me to get enthusiastic about anyone who's a politician at this point in time. But, I think that if you are hopeful because of Marianne and you like what she's saying, feel free to, follow her and whatnot. Just like, don't put your heart all into it, because I don't want it to get broken again for you. I'm not ready to love again yet, so I can't go all in. But
I also just think it's I like what she's saying. It's no different than what Bernie has said for decades. And the idea that she has a chance to beat Biden when he's the incumbent, I just don't think is realistic. So sure, cover her. Like if she's going big on TikTok, sure, I guess that's a news story that's worth covering. But in terms of covering every single video she puts out or something, until we get closer to, I don't know, some voting states or maybe debates, I don't think she'd even be allowed to enter the debates. It's just, I feel like there's not much to talk about really until we're closer to some kind of actual race happening, which by the way, Biden's apparently going to announce officially.
Right. Next week. Somebody also said in the chat that basically they said that I compared Marianne Williamson to Biden. No, I did not. I never compared her to Biden. I like Marianne Williamson. I just, again, it's hard for me to get attached to anyone after 2 failed Bernie presidential campaigns. That was emotionally draining, and I've got my guards up. So that's kind of all it is. That's where I'm coming from. But I like Marianne. I like the policy she's talking about, and I like that she owned Jordan Peterson on Twitter. I thought that was awesome. But yeah, she's nice. I like her, and that's that. Don't let the haters tell you that I hate Marianne or that I'm a Marianne hater. I like Marianne. It's hard to win a primary against an incumbent. That's all.
Muriel says the trial would not have been filmed. Even recording audio was tossed out. You would not have seen or heard anything. There was a call. That's it. I already forget what this is about.
Oh, the Dominion suit, I think.
Oh, okay. Yeah. No, well, regardless, we would have quotes. Regardless of whether or not it's filmed or not, we would have quotes of what they were saying and what's that's stuff that's already come out in terms of in discovery, the text messages. So more would have come out during a trial. Do you guys have more, or should I finish?
I don't have any more. No, I just want to real quick. Alan Binder says,
for Pops.
Is it really?
It really my dad, yeah.
Oh, okay. So I'd like to see Brandon Sutton on here. I would too. I love Brandon.
We should get him on here, right?
And
That's
Emma.
a great idea.
Yeah,
yes, Emma would love to do it.
I would love to have them both on here. That'd be awesome.
Emma actually owes me a doomed visit because I had her on the first time she ever came on, and she forgot her makeup at the Majority Report office and refused to come on camera during the stream. So I just had to talk to her, but she wouldn't go on camera, which is I respected it. But she said she owes me, so maybe I'll cash in for an episode of Leftist Mafia.
There you go. Oh, I want Kyle on. Yeah, red comment. I feel like we should bring Kyle and Crystal on post wedding, and then they could have a mini honeymoon on here. We'll bring gifts. It'll be but seriously, it'd be cool to bring them on.
Terrible.
I know that would be cringe as fuck.
Where was that here? Donald James says, keep infighting between other people. In the end, we all want and are working for the same goal. Don't cancel each other out of existence. I think friendly disagreements and discussions shouldn't be seen as like we are canceling that person, and that's I just think it's taken the wrong way by some people.
Yeah.
Nelson Mercer says either school or Van Vince G. I don't know what that means.
Oh, they're referring to the person in the chat that I was arguing with.
Okay.
Yeah. By the way, Vince G is actually my uncle in real life. Like I'm just kidding. No, I don't know him in real life. I'm just kidding. But
oh, jeez.
No. I would be any family member I saw, I'd ban immediately.
Yeah, I got a few, I think, that watch me. Law Gnome says Leafs won, David can relax now. That's right. I definitely relaxed after that. Jay Dizzle says Bernie VP Williamson POTUS and sup with Kennedy making a bit of sense on a couple of issues. Grow the hairbender, Dave too. Anything from Anna, angry with her. That's a lot. There's a lot there. Let me just pull out the one thing so in terms of, what's his name? Kennedy. I forget which one he is now. What his first name is. But one of the Kennedys I guess he's announced that he's running. I don't know. He's in like some of the polls. My understanding is he was. I think he's one of the first hosts of Ring of Fire. And I think Sam Cedar said he worked with him.
Yes, he did. They dropped him really quick after he started going really deep into the anti-vax stuff. He hasn't been a host for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
It's bizarre to me how some people just get like really into that.
Right. He from the beginning, I feel like he was anti-vax adjacent, and they were very uncomfortable with that, and they would stray him away from talking about those issues. But then he went from toying around with it to going full board, and then they dropped him, and he continued until he became I would say he's probably the leading anti-vaxxer in the country. Honestly, he is. Wow. He is. Yes, it's bad. He was banned from a number of platforms before, just recently, because now he's running for president.
Yeah,
and he's polling at what, like 10%? I saw. This is why I don't have faith.
I mean, I honestly don't even believe that. I think
it was like one poll. I don't know how much truth there is there.
And
Again,
and I'm sure there's
hey, this person's not Biden. I'm going to say yes, sure, that guy. Like that's I think a lot of the voters
they can pick Marianne. That's why I have no faith, people. Like
but the name Kennedy, that's going to stand out more than Williamson.
Right. That's what that's about. It's name recognition. And once they look into him and find out about him, I mean, the dude has tons of photos hanging out at Roger Stone and all sorts of right wingers. Mm-hmm. He's like a Jimmy Dore type. He's not. He's been
on Jimmy's show, I think.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. He's not. He's not a Democrat. He's a Democrat in name only because he was a Kennedy.
He's a demon rat.
His wife, his wife was on, or still is, or I mean, the show's not on anymore, but she was on Curb Your Enthusiasm.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah, and she came out and when he was during COVID, she came out and criticized people going after her, saying she doesn't agree with her husband on this stuff. And then she was at the live campaign event giving her full-throated endorsement for his presidential run. I mean, he's running as an anti-vaxxer. Like it's part of who he is. You cannot separate the two. He's
Cheryl Hines. Yeah.
Yes.
Move on. Why do they care about the vaccine? It's
no, but he's not an anti. Actually, I should also say he wasn't an anti-vaxxer just because of COVID. He was an anti-vaxxer long before COVID. He's a straight up. Like some COVID anti-vaxxers will be like, no, I'm for other vaccines because they've been tested for years. I'm just not for the COVID vaccine. He's not even that.
Damn.
He is an anti-vaxxer, period. One of those old school vaccines equal autism types. He is
brain broken.
Yes.
Wow. I didn't know all this about him. I'm not super familiar with him. I just know that he's a Kennedy and he like lingers around and he's annoying whenever I hear from him. But yeah, that's sad.
Nelson Mercer says Vince G. Still in the chat asking me, an amateur, to explain how Tucker Carlson is a white supremacist. Okay, so it sounds like we had like
Yeah, Vince was trolling the whole chat, just trying to rile people up. But thanks for the engagement. I don't know which chat Vince is in, but you're helping with the engagement, I guess. So thanks. I don't know. Like just
Zero PE says, David, did you hear about Nintendo going after that guy pirating their games? I think I heard something about that. So Nintendo is, I'm not sure about that case, but I know they are hyper active in terms of their lawyers and like copyrights on YouTube, and I think they took down some guy's Zelda channel.
Yeah, he did. He had Zelda mods, and they're like,
they need to understand how to embrace this shit. Like Nintendo has these wild swings from like they release amazing games, and then they're as a company they're just really shitty sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
And when it comes to pirating generally, if there's no way to legally obtain a game, like say every 3DS game right now, because the eShop is taken down, who cares? Like that, when it comes to that shit, it doesn't. If they're not going to give you a way to actually acquire their game legally, then what do you like? What can you do? And there hasn't been a real discussion or a real agreement from these massive companies on how to properly ensure that you have like a copy of every single game, and like there's no attention to, I forget what there's a term for it, but there's no attention to having a just ensuring that these games are there's ability to access them even once they stop getting sold or they go offline. Like there's no real unification on how to do that. But I don't know.
Yeah, they fucked over the Smash community a number of times as well. So they're just like really out of touch with their fan base. And
and last one here from me. Soul Life says, just cuz. All right.
Oh, I got one that just came in right now. Ninsk Design. Did you see the Zaid Tabani song that covered the TYT Ole drama, formerly on Phil D with a normie audience? So I was thrilled. Please share with Ole. Are you guys familiar with that? Phil D's guy, Zaid Tabani?
Yeah, him and I are mutuals. I did share it in our chat. Hopefully we could bring him on the show. He does, for all of you familiar with Philip DeFranco, Zaid Tabani was a rapper beforehand, but then he started doing like news rap, and it sounds like
a rap name, Zaid Tabani. I would listen to that guy.
I mean, I don't know how he does it, but he takes all the news, and he mixes it into a song, and it's super substantive and also funny and good. Like it's good music. And yeah, so Philip DeFranco is featuring some of his songs. He has his own channel now. And yeah, he mentioned Ole and Anna last week in his video, just really quick. So yeah, he's really good, super talented. Oh, it's pronounced Zed. Okay. Yeah, he's super talented. And at some point we'll bring him on Leftist Mafia because he's a good dude.
I think I found his video. I'm looking for like the screenshot of it.
Yeah, I think it's his last video where he mentions it.
I'll just bring it up.
So that tells you how big that whole like discourse got.
So this person.
Yeah.
But I think it's in this one somewhere because I'm seeing Hassan and TYT.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So it's probably here somewhere. But there you go. I will check that out once we get off. That's it for me. Anybody else?
I'm good. I've got nothing else.
Let me refresh one last time. Yeah, I got about 34 more super chats to get through. No, we're good. This was a fun show, guys. As always.
Mm-hmm. All right.
See you all
next week.
Take care.
Have a great 420. Good night.
You as well.
Peace.